Fire for your mind. Culture clinician. Hit that like button and share this stream if you're not a beta male.
Nigga ass, loser ass nigga.
Your video with comments about
He's a
certain
loser.
other female.
Just to let you niggas know, we don't need y'all. We want y'all, but we don't need y'all.
20 years later.
Our black men, we want all y'all back. Because we love you, we see you, kings. And most importantly, we need you. And most importantly, we need you.
And most importantly, we need you.
You can't.
If you a that's for the street.
You can't delete the ski. You can't delete the ski.
I know a who used to suck dick every mother night.
You can't
delete your
outrageous. I just want to say I love y'all, black men, and thank y'all for everything that you do. Because Lord knows I've never gotten on the phone. I've never picked up my phone and made a phone call, and it hasn't been a black man to come through and help me and always assist me in whatever it is that I needed. Even when it come down to roadside assistance, somehow it's always a black man. So thank y'all for being who y'all are, inside and out. I love y'all to pieces. Even the ones that don't think I love y'all, the incels, I love y'all too. Thank y'all for being y'all. I love y'all black men. Nobody does it like y'all. Nobody's as strong as y'all. The resilience that y'all show is ironclad. And I want to thank you. And I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. The journey that you're walking in life, I hope that God continues to walk with you. I hope that you do understand and you do know that I do love you.
Any self-defined black woman that's still rooting for black men, you just haven't hit rock bottom yet. You haven't been hurt enough to look in the mirror and say, I deserve to be protected. I deserve to have the best in life. You just haven't reached rock bottom yet. I pray it never happens to you. But when it does, I hope God is with you. Because it definitely isn't going to be a black man sitting next to you. I promise you that. Respectfully.
Seeing black men who are Americans intermarry with African ladies. I don't know what is going on, but I have never seen it.
Because first things first, the first and simplest way to get into someone's culture is intermarrying. Find yourself an African black girl like us and marry us.
But here we are fighting.
I didn't know we had beef, and now it's there.
But ask yourself, who gave you that beef on me? Who gave you that history about me? Did you write your history about yourself?
No.
Do we write our history in schools in Africa?
No, we don't.
So why are we each other's enemy?
Exactly.
Black men, please, on behalf of black women, this is one thing we want y'all to know right now. When we bring to light an issue or an experience, when we are expressing our grievances or our troubles that come with being a black woman in this world, it is not your opportunity to tell us how you ain't like that, or how you don't personally do the thing we're talking about, so therefore it must not be that common. Stop acting like the clear-colored people of our race. If you don't know what else to do, just listen. That's it. Listen. Extra points for empathy. I know that may be asking a lot, but try it. I know this may be a big word for Elmo, but maybe even validate her experience. But in the name of Jesus H. Christ, stop trying to minimize or detract or distract by not all menning us to death.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? I'm good. Look at here, look. To my ladies, my melanated queens that look like me, y'all come forth. Let's have a little chit chat right quick. Look, y'all, what's this new trend going on? This black wife effect.
Women out there who think you don't like us, you don't like black women.
Oh, yes, I do. I love black women. I'm a black woman myself, and I got 5 daughters and 4 sisters, so that would, be ridiculous of anybody to assume that. As I said, we have just never had anybody challenge us on our behavior. We've never had anybody to say, well, let's look at what we do. We know what he does, and he's wrong in a lot of what he does. But his wrongness, his guilt, does not ensure our innocence. We have a share in the problems that we have in the black community. And just because we are dressed up and have a job does not mean that we don't practice some aberrant behaviors that end up infecting our homes and breaking up our relationships with our men and helping to hold him down. That's all I'm saying. So everyone...
My perfect man would be a tall, black stallion. He loves to cook because I'm not really a good cook, so that's his thing. He loves driving. He loves driving the kids to school in the morning. He's just really, really hands-on, with my kids. He's sterile because he can't have kids of his own, so he really cherishes mine. He's funny. We do movie quotes all the time. Every time we go around, we just laugh and do karaoke. He's smart. He is very good with the money. He takes care of all that, and he just lets me, make the beds and just do me.
Fall comes to us in its own time. Fighters, keepers, losers, we
I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. The crash came when the cash came. Spend it before you get it like those rookies all on draft day. For the love like it's match game. Hit the ground running, really do it for my last name. They act different when the facts change. I'm not with the tip for tag games. In my own league, I don't chase game. In my own league, I don't hang with lanes. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Now how could that be? Talking about who can be talking about me? Feeling like stretch where I got all this reach. Feeling too blessed when I step on these beats. Now how could that be? I could beat the pressure, I could beat the 2-3. Jab, jab, hook, then I duck and I weave. It was never you, it was me versus me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Better up, get some, swinging for the fences, I might leave it in the sun. Every pitch a home run. Stack a couple tickets just to leave it to my son. Take it back where I begun. Small city kid, couldn't dream a bigger one. A marathon, never run. Check the scoreboard, how I'm feeling like I won. I know I've been quiet for a minute, I've been grinding, still in it, I've been counting these digits, excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me.
Cognitive dissonance is a condition that happens for a myriad of reasons. Many times in modern America, men and women often do one of the following. They deny the evidence. They become enraged when you present them with the evidence. They argue to ad hominem attacks, meaning they attack the messenger instead of the message. And they will fight you or flee because they cannot hear what you are saying. And conditions such as this, tied into cognitive dissonance, often happens to those that have or lack self-awareness. They stay in a perpetual cycle of arrested development, exhibited by this.
When men fail to lead, the children rebel and the women take over.
Black woman therapist tired of black women's attitudes.
Men, are you dealing with issues like this? Book a session.
And he told me that women don't apologize and women can't be held accountable. And I began to really think deeply about this idea. And one of the things that came across my mind is, in the last 9 months or so of me being in my private practice, I have myself experienced many women, whether they came in as a couple or they came by themselves, they very abruptly discontinued their therapy. And I started to reflect and really think, what was going on here? And I noticed that after I had to confront them about something, I had to bring to their attention something they were doing that wasn't contributing to the health of the relationship.
Hit that like button and share this stream if you're not a beta male. Fire for your mind. Culture clinician.
If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. Heaven and hell, that's what they told you. Real men put the strap down and we can toss them. Young heads picking back up and young dolphins. This is our culture. Now we talking kosher. Clinician, masculinity issues, absent fathers who miss you, mama drama don't kiss you, all a part of the ritual. This is how they get you. Separate the men, women clipping babies pretend to. Damn, lovers, haters acting like vultures. If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. Listen. Listen.
Me hit one. If you can hear me, hit one. Brother, have a good show today, guys. This is a response to Shay Sharday, a show that she did about a week ago. And the question is, will black men reach back after the recession? And it just depends on what type of black man that you are. There's an old saying that says that the more things change, the more things remain the same. And until men and women come to the table in a level of contrition, then true change can never happen. But the question is this: many times people condemn men's spaces for nefarious reasons. They tend to castigate male spaces as having a high level of animus towards women. And so that's not the case, because while many men, including American white men, are checking out of dating and relationships, black men don't hate black women. Black men are tired of Western women. They have been sabotaged due to liberal ideologies. And because of that, black men are beginning to expand themselves and expand their power abroad, or they're just becoming indifferent and checking out. And the recession proved, guys, that more or less that many are not fit to come into the life of a man. Many want black men to come and stand and continue to be traditional without true change. And so the concept of the red pill has gotten a lot of negative hype. Some call it the radical red pill. And it's not radical about the truth. The truth is radical. Jesus was a radical because he told the truth. What he did was revolutionary. And never in modern times have the world seen men of all ethnic hues come together and saying enough is enough. You don't qualify. And I'm either checking out or I'm traveling abroad. I came up with a term, guys, called hoflation, and that's just a term that more or less suggests this, is that the average woman wants more than what she really is. And in a relationship, women got to understand that there's a such thing called relationship symmetry, meaning the things that men want must be given by the woman, and the thing that the woman want must be given as well. But see, the problem with the modern woman, because she has a severe case of cognitive dissonance, is that she thinks by default that what she's given a man is sufficient. And I came up with an acronym called RECESS. The world want to make men rats. They want white rats. They want black rats. They want brown rats. They want Hispanic rats. They want all kinds of rats. The world want to make men rats. And many modern women, what they wanted or more or less reduced men to is resources, attention, time, and they want security for sex that they gave to multiple men for free. And they get mad at me. They get mad at you because they want a happy-go-lucky therapist. Now, listen. When I do these shows, this is edutainment. This is not, I might add clinical concepts from time to time because if I gave you guys a clinical lesson in how the mind works, you would get bored out of your mind. And so I had to be very creative because I was a teacher in the past. And in my creativity, what I try to do is infuse clinical concepts with urban topics. And so when I infuse clinical concepts and talk about cognitive distortions, ego defense mechanisms, personality disorders, and many other things, it helped lay the conceptual groundwork to what many men are struggling with or dealing with in the framework of modern America. There's never been a time in the world or more recently where so many men are speaking out. They're demanding more. They're saying if you don't qualify, then you can set your ass on the side. And because of that, so many don't like it. They say, oh, he's misogynistic, his mama black, all kinds of goofy stuff. And I'm passionate about this topic because I don't believe that there could be black love until women consent to what men want. You have to consent to the whims of a man or the needs of a man in order to get a ring. But the problem with so many modern women now and so many men that have been emasculated or raised without principle, they tend to over-aggrandize the needs of a woman. And you cannot over-aggrandize the needs of a woman against the behest of yourself as a man. And so because of that, so many are checking out. So many are becoming indifferent, and so many are beginning to say, what am I getting? DMX, before he passed away, guys, he said, Lord, show me a sign. And you got two types of black men that are coming up on the scene. You got the DMX brothers that are saying, Lord, show me a sign. But then you got the brothers that are like Doctor Who, where they say, save your community, black man. Black men are saying, Doctor Who? When they say, go and take us out to expensive dinners, and black men are saying, Doctor Who? Black men have developed, many of them have developed a Doctor Who spirit. And while some are actually saying, Lord, show me a sign like DMX, many are beginning to realize that the sign that they're looking for does not exist. And because of that, many men are taking a more cautious approach because they understand female nature. Now listen, and I know that women are, for the most part, they're survivalists by nature. A woman is a survivor. Thank you, Tim, for your love, brother. A woman is a survivalist by nature. She has to survive. And the problem with a woman that's a survivalist is that when she's trying to come to you in the spirit of contrition, is it genuine or is it just a facade because she wants a man to be a provider and a protector? And so what men are saying is that, I don't know if this, we love you kings is actually real. They don't know if they're saying, we love you kings, if it's real. And so they're saying, Lord, show me a sign. But see, here's the problem once again. Every time they appear to show a sign of contrition, they always revert back to the past. And this is not to castigate good women. There are some good, noble sisters that I love and respect. They are noble women. They are striving. They are trying. But by and large, the numbers are too small to equivocate a true change in the current world that we have called America. And so you have those women that want to silence men and tell us to be quiet. And, that's all they do is talk about women. But see, you can't have a more competent union or more perfect union until you have a competent woman at your side as a man. Men need competent women at their side to help push them forward. Now, can men succeed outside of a woman? Yes, they can. But when you got a competent woman that knows how to regulate her emotions, she's been healed from the trauma that she's been through. She understands her assignment. She's not competing with a man in the relationship. Then you got a woman that's ready to be on your team to help you support your mission. But I talked about, guys, succinctly on last week about the phenomena of so many modern women that put their career first. They're more concerned about their careers than they are about the family. And while I'm not against a woman that wants a career, if that's what she wants to do, no problem. I don't have a problem with it. But you got to understand that competent Black traditional men, they have done the work and they are learning to uncover the pathology that they're having as well. And some of you may need to come see me at kosherclinician.com at email.com to get a non-diagnostic consultation. This non-diagnostic consultation is not for insurance. You got to pay it out of your pocket if you want to get help. You can do it one time or you can do it multiple times. But this is not insurance. And what I found perplexing is this. I am a licensed clinical therapist. I went to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I got my undergraduate at North Carolina Central. I taught school for 5 years, and I have an associate degree in law enforcement. So, you're not trying to be arrogant, but you're getting the best when you get me because you don't have too many people that have my background. And I didn't say it. They said it when I was in graduate school. So if you want to get help to help you uncover so that you can recover, you need to come see me. But some of you men are not ready to stand on business as a man because you have a lot of thinking errors. Not only do you have thinking errors, you have cognitive distortions. And those distortions are sometimes unconscious pathologies that you are not aware of. And because you are not aware of those unconscious pathologies, you sabotage your male sovereignty. And so you got to find a way to help you uncover so that you can recover. So when you decide to go forward in your new season, you can stand on business. And so my mission is to help you stand on business as a man. But sadly, YouTube does not support objectively male-centered content to the level that it needs to because the truth is not popular on YouTube. And so, people don't like the truth anymore. Anything that's synonymous or equivocal to the truth is seen as radical. And as I said a few seconds ago, the red pill has gotten a bad name because it's seen as radical. They tend to assert that all men in male spaces are more nihilistic, which is more black pill. But most men that I know that I've dealt with are not black pill. They're either purple pill or red pill. They just see modern women for what they are. They understand that when women come into men's spaces, some of them have a genuine concern about understanding men so they can be better women for their husbands, but also so they can be better women for the future man that they hope to marry. But then some women come into male spaces trying to change or subjugate the conversation because they have not properly healed and they know what we're saying is true. They want you to minimize the language because they want you to tell them what they want to hear or make them feel good. But see, when you come into a male space, we're not going to change the tenor of what we're damn trying to say. You're in the male space. Nobody asked you to come. If you come into a male space, it's going to be raw. It's going to be kosher. It's going to be just like them zucchinis that Sister Bashir be cooking for her husband. It's going to be just like that kosher beef that she be cooking. It's going to be just like the spinach and the food from her garden. It's going to be kosher. So it's going to be raw. It's going to be real raw. And so if you can't take this kosher medicine, you don't need to be in this channel because I will not change the message for the sake of appeasing women. I don't have a problem with women. I love women. It's nothing like a woman. It's nothing like the curvaceous hips of a woman. It's nothing like her smell, her kind, her smile. But her behavior has become deplorable because no one has held her accountable. And not only that, you have too many weak, goofy black men men. They drag their knuckles. They don't demand anything. That makes it hard for competent black men to stand on business and say what they need to say. One thing about me is this. It gets hard telling the truth. You lose friends. People act brand new. They act funny. They don't support you anymore because they get in their feelings. But guess what? At the end of the day, you're not going to take your money with you into the afterlife. Your wealth won't matter in the afterlife. When you stand before God, none of this will matter. The only thing will matter is that if you stood on business, you told the truth, and you made Christ your Lord and Savior in the end. And we all got to repent, including myself. But, none of this stuff going to matter 20 years from now. It ain't going to matter 30 years from now when you become worm food. The only thing that's going to matter is when you stand before the Almighty, and hopefully you'll be clothed with the clothes of righteousness. But now, because we live in a world where preachers compromise the cross, they don't tell the truth, they don't amplify the truth, men have to start looking outside. That's why black men no longer go to church anymore, because they don't feel like the church has been sufficient enough to speak to the needs of masculine heteronormative men. We're not talking about these cream puff men that tell women what they want to hear, the Jamal Bryans of the world. And all these old goofy preachers that, only thing they talk about is say it's all men's fault. Black men are there. I'm getting tired of that. And while I have no issue with the church, I was raised in the church. I was a superintendent of a holiness church. I could never be part of the typical church now, not because I don't believe in the gospel, not because I don't believe in the teachings of the Messiah, but I just don't feel that the current modern church is equipped enough to deal with a masculine line like me. You cannot teach me anything if you're not on my level. You have to be on my level or above my level for me to listen to you. I don't listen to incompetent Negroes. I don't listen to incompetent people in general. I hear what you're saying, and I let it go in the backside of the wind. But I'm a competent, educated lion, and I'm flying and I'm growing. Because I don't like being around dusty, ignorant people. I like being around competent people that can listen. I like being around objective people that can listen. I like being around folks that can see things from both different perspectives. I like being around free-thinking people. I like being around people that if I give them this light, they don't take it personal, but they understand that everything that I give to them is not coming from a place of prejudice, but it's coming from a place of concern. And that's why I've said so many times, guys, with fervor, and also I've said it vehemently, you cannot have black love without consent. And so I'm going to keep saying until the world realizes that you cannot have black love until you consent and ask black men what they want. Until you consent and ask black men what they want in relationships, you cannot have black love. You can't have it. You cannot have it. And that's why people get so upset, because they begin to see a shift in the world. They begin to get scared because black men are saying, we're not going to reach back. We're going to reach forward. I'm going to say it again. Black men are saying we're not going to reach back. We're going to reach forward. We're going to reach forward for competent, whole women that are doing the work. We're going to reach forward for women that understand our mission. We're going to reach forward for women that love us, respect us, honor us, and obey us, the dirty word that many modern women don't like. The modern women that say that we love Jesus, but yet you don't want to obey your husband. The modern women that say we love Jesus, but yet you want to be over the man in the relationship. The modern woman that loves Jesus, but yet anytime black men hold you accountable, you say your mama is black. So black men are saying, no, we ain't going to keep tolerating this BS no more. We're going to get with women that's going to be part of the program. And while a lot of black men are saying we're not going to reach back, we're going to reach forward. And as Bishop Charles E. Williams said, y'all ain't going to talk to me. Now, listen, we're going to get deep into this show. Shout out to all the brothers showing love on today. Shout out to the brothers. Shout out to all the brothers. Shout out to my man, Gregory Scotland. Gregory Scotland is a good man, a good black brother, always showing me love and support. And I'm forever grateful as I continue on this journey. He says, salute, kosher. We have this, we love you, black man, and we have this bogus connection of red pill consumption and the lack of college degrees, all try to throw men off. Yes. Thank you, Brother Gregory. Thank you so much. Shout out to my man, Quiet Favor. He's the #1 sponsor of the stream Showing Love on this Saturday afternoon before we get to the Final Four showdown. He said that principal black men will find black love with the daughters raised by other. Yes, sir. Other principal black men. Yes, sir, Quiet Faith. The respect she has for her father increases the chance that she can respect you. Yes, sir. From man's house to another man's house. Yes, sir. That's exactly the truth, brother. women that come from homes where they got competent black men, even though it's not 100%, she's more prone to respect you and what you're trying to accomplish as a man. And with 80% of children being raised in single parent homes, and they always say, oh, you know, black men don't take care of their kids, which is a myth. There's a percentage of dusty, ignorant black men that don't take care of their kids, but that's not all black men. Most black men don't have kids. And so we got this stupid or silly talking point that black men are just running away, abandoning homes and not taking care of their responsibility. And it's a lie. Is there a percentage of black men that don't take care of their kids? Yes, but that's not black men in large. And so you're 100% correct, Quiet Faith. Black men are looking for other principled black men. They have taught their daughters how to regulate their emotions for the mission of the relationship. But see, the problem now, you got a lot of rebellious children. Women are rebellious. They rebel against masculine fathers. They rebel against masculine tradition because they don't have the bandwidth to see what fathers can see. And so you can try to raise a child in the admonition of truth and faith, and they still will reject it because they have been influenced by liberal ideas and also by liberal dogmas. Shout out to my man R. Bean for that $10 super sticker. Thank you, R. Bean. And my man Quiet Faith, always showing love. He is the #1 sponsor of the stream. Shout out to my man Quiet Favors. He's the #1 sponsor of the stream.
I just want to say I love y'all, black men, and thank y'all for everything that you do.
So Lord showed me a sign. That's what a lot of black men are saying. They're looking for a sign, man. Black men are looking for a sign. And I talked about it in part a few minutes ago before we get deep into the show. But they're looking for a sign. They're looking for a sign like the Pharisees look for. They're looking for a sign. You'll know that black women are changing. It's when they have emotional regulation. Many times people say that, black men don't have emotional regulation or emotional intelligence. But one of the signs that a person has emotional intelligence is that they can regulate their emotions, but also they can utilize critical thinking. A person that can utilize critical thinking or more or less critical thinking or critical constructive criticism or take constructive criticism and see their own flaws, that's a sign that they have emotional intelligence. But watch this. I'm going to drop some fire for your mind. When I got my coursework, guys, earlier this week, there was a concept called ego observing. It's a concept called ego observing. Ego observing is what a narcissist cannot do. A narcissist cannot observe their ego. A narcissistic man or woman cannot observe their ego. And the reason why they cannot observe their ego because it will show them their flaws. That's consistent with a concept that I created called the Medusa complex. Watch this. When Medusa was shown, Medusa many times, she will look at people, and when Medusa will look at people, she will petrify them and turn them to stone. And so it would be contraindicated for Medusa to look at herself because if Medusa looked at herself, she herself would become stone. And so ego observing people cannot look at their ego or observe their ego because it will not confirm their bias about who they are. And so when people have extreme narcissistic traits, they never see themselves, they only see you. And so the question is, are black men going to reach back after the recession? After the recession? And I will argue that the majority of competent black men that know what they want out of a relationship, I would say that they are not. They're not going to reach back, but they're going to reach forward. They're going to reach forward by going to the post office. They're going to reach forward by getting them a passport. They're going to reach forward by getting a competent therapist like myself. They're going to reach forward by going to the gym, getting a gym membership. They're going to reach forward by investing their money. They're going to reach forward by getting the proper people that are necessary to help them move forward. I don't believe in this we want you king and we love you kings nonsense. Are there some genuine sisters that act that way? Yes. But by and large, it's not. And I know some people might say, oh, he's divisive. Can he be a therapist and be divisive? Well, it's simple. I'm not divisive. I tell the truth. You cannot have black love until you get consent. You cannot have a more perfect union until a person acknowledges what they're doing. Many modern women have a condition called denial. When you're in denial, then you cannot see your bad behavior. Many black men also have a condition called denial because you think by default that they're just like the women of yesterday. And they're not. They have changed a lot. And some of these women, it's not necessarily their fault, but some of it is a byproduct of how they were shaped. Some of it is unresolved trauma. Some of it is projection out of anger. But it's not a man's responsibility or a woman's responsibility to bring healing. You need to go see a competent therapist that can help you unpack so that you can move forward. Shout out to my man Gregory Scotland. He said that, Coach, another con job that's used by hyenas is that they want black male mentors to come into communities to help their sons. But as soon as those men show the young man how to be strong, they want him to start. Yeah, man, ain't nobody damn coming back. Talking about mentoring no son. I'm not mentoring nobody's son unless it benefits me. I'm going to tell you, man, I used to always try to be a good person to help people, but it doesn't work. They'll turn on you in a heartbeat. And so you're better off focusing on yourself. I teach men all the time, learn how to be selfish. And I'm not talking about selfishness that hurt people, but I'm talking about selfishness that's beneficial to you and also for your mental wealth. I'm learning how to be selfish. I wasn't always selfish, but I'm learning how to be selfish. It's a good thing when you preserve yourself because Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. So Lord, show me a sign. Emotional regulation is a sign that modern women have shown some level of competence to come into the life of a competent black man. We're not talking about incompetent, dusty, ignorant black men that lie to women and use women for their own benefit. I don't deal with men like that. I'm talking about competent black men that have done the work themselves, are working on themselves, and they got standards. They're not going to compromise their standards. Women that respect their bodies, that they work out, they eat clean, they eat lean, they don't give their bodies to multiple men. Women that don't have kids by multiple men. Women that respect their bodies. These women are women that publicly come out and denounce feminism. They denounce radical feminism that subvert and destroy the functioning or the efficacy of black families and black homes. They denounce feminism and they're in unison with other black women and white women that denounce it as well. There are women holding other women accountable. They allow traditional men to lead. The scripture said, how can they hear unless a preacher be sent? They allow their men to lead. Let me tell you men something. Don't you ever subvert your sovereignty for no man or woman. You're a leader. You were made to lead. You're wired to lead your woman. It doesn't mean that your woman don't have any leadership qualities, but you were made to lead first. You were made first. She was made for you. You weren't made for her. And so that's why I don't believe in partners. You hear people talking about, I want a partner. He's my partner. Well, I don't believe in that neoliberal nonsense. That's a new zeitgeist word that people use. But if you look at history and you look at time, some people use the word partner and they're genuine. They don't mean anything by it. It's just a cliche term. But if you look at partner actually came out of liberal dogma. As I told you guys, not one time, but multiple times when I went to graduate school, I heard the word partner. But prior to that, you never heard no word partner. It was just husband and wife. And so partner means that we have equal power and equal say in the relationship. And that's why a lot of men are frustrated. And men are also frustrated by women like this that I'm about to show you guys. They don't understand their job and their assignment as a wife.
So you're telling me that a woman has to go work like a man every day, and a man goes work and he's tired when he gets home. A woman's not tired. She has to clean, cook, do the dishes, do the laundry. Are you kidding me?
Why don't you want to do that?
What are you talking about? Why don't I want to? You know how fucking tiring that is? Have you done that?
First of all,
I
do it every day. First of all, do not choose a woman who don't want to be a woman. Right.
So you don't want to be a woman. No, you don't want to be a woman.
Yelling doesn't mean you're winning an argument. It's a sign of low intelligence. You can lower your voice and speak to me. I'm sitting right here. I can hear you.
And you're yelling all the time.
So all this, I cooked and I cleaned and yeah, that's part of your function. But when your tire is flat, my function is to make sure you have a new tire.
But
when your car needs an oil change, it's my job to make sure these people ain't ripping you off. We have different duties and functions and responsibilities. And if you don't love your duty, your function, your responsibility, you're not fit to be a wife, period.
No doubt. That brother's 100% correct. They are not fit to be a wife, period, with a T or a D on the end. They're not damn fit to be a wife. I've never in my life seen so many narcissistic, entitled women. I've never in my life seen so many of them. And the reason why some of these women are so narcissistic, man, is because you overvalue them. You give the narcissist their power. That's why they get mad at me and get a narcissistic injury when I call out the truth. Because they want black men and they want men in general to bow. I will not bow. I will die before I damn bow. I'm a lion. Don't ever come to me down. I'm a damn bow and tap into no one. I will rip you to damn shreds. I will not bow. I was made in the image of the Most High. So I'm not bound to no woman. I don't bow to a man. I don't even bow to God like I should. I should be bound. The only person I should bow to is God. And sadly, me not being disciplined, I don't bow to him like I should. But I wish I would bow to a woman in a relationship, something that was made for me. I refuse to bow. Shout out to my man, the big homie in the house, my man Ray Johnson, brother, always showing love and support. One of the ride or dies from the beginning. Shout out to my man Ray Johnson for that $15 cash app. I'm going to get me a sandwich or a steak with that $15 cash app. Shout out to Ray Johnson. Thank you, sir.
It's the money.
Shout out to Ray Johnson with that cash app alert. Now back to what we were saying earlier. They allow traditional men to lead. That's the sign that black men are looking for. Women hold other women accountable. They denounce the DNC. The DNC is the Democratic National Convention. I've said before in the past and I'll say it again. I cannot see how a traditional woman can support the DNC. You don't have to support Trump either. If you don't like him, that's fine. I get it. You ain't got to like him either. But you can't be a traditional woman supporting liberal politics. You can't. You can't be a liberal woman and say you love Jesus because everything that liberals talk about is antithetical to what Jesus taught and believed in. And so I just don't get it. Submitting to male leadership, that's a sign that we'll know that the black woman is ready to come into the kingdom of man. She's eradicating shaming language, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Shout out to BJS Ipmore for coming up with that term, and it was coined by Kevin Samuels. But eradicating shaming language. Your mama is black. Who hurt you? Your penis small. Grown woman pressure, goofy-ish like that grown woman pressure. You want a man to come back and talk about taking care of a man in another man's seed, tell me some damn grown woman pressure. Try to shame men into damn bad deals. He ain't ready for grown woman pressure. Hell no, I'm not ready for grown woman pressure. No, I'm not. I'm weak. I'm proudly weak. I'm not taking care of nobody else's kids. I worked too hard my whole life. If I was a single man, even if I wasn't a single man, I'm not taking care of nobody else's children. I'm not, unless she would have to be a damn exceptional woman for me to take care of her children. I'm not gonna 100% rule out, but in general, I'm not taking care of no other man's seed. I'm too good for that. I'm not taking care of no other man's children. If that's what you want to do with your life, fine. I ain't met no other man. I don't advise it, but if that's what you want to do, that's your business. But I'm not going to do it unless she's an exceptional woman. And exceptional would be, the bar will be raised so high that she probably won't reach it. So I would never even look at a woman like that. I'm not taking care of no other woman's kids. That's beneath me. Unless she's an exceptional woman that lost her husband and maybe he passed away or and she was a good woman and she kept herself up, she ate right, and she was a godly woman, then maybe you got to do every situation case by case. But the typical woman in the West, they got children. I'm not taking care of your children. I'm not taking care of them because the day your child tell me you ain't my daddy, I'm gone. I'm not going to be in no home where I can't discipline no another man's seed. And like I say, it's beneath me to talk about raising somebody else's kid anyway. I ain't got time to raise nobody else's kid. I'm going to be selfish these last couple of years of my life. I'm going to enjoy my life with the grace of God. I'm going to travel. I'm going to make this paper. I'm going to support and mentor other black men. I'm going to help competent sisters that want good husbands. I'm going to help those types of people. But I'm not going to cast my pearl to swine. Eradicating shame and language. Allowing black men, aligning themselves with black men. We live in a world where the black woman has not consistently aligned herself with traditional heteronormative black men. They're not aligning themselves or allies with black men. They're actually saboteurs of black men. They're agent provocateurs. They practice what they preach. They understand their roles as a woman. And once again, more women with no kids. That's what we're going to start there. I'm preaching. So are there some men they're going to reach back? Sure. Some men might reach back. But I think the men that I tolerate or deal with on my channel, not tolerate, but deal with on my channel, I think they're going to reach forward and they're going to keep looking until they find the woman of their dreams. And they're going to raise the bar high. They're going to raise the standards high because they're going to say, if you want this ring, then you got to meet my standards. If you're not just going to damn get this ring just because you think your ass deserve a ring. You're going to prove that you deserve a ring. And if you ran through and sleep with a bunch of men, ain't nobody gonna put no ring on your finger. And I know some people get mad at that, but masculine dominant men don't want women that have been with a lot of men, and they got a lot of back. I'm not saying that those people are not good people, but most men are not wired that way. No more than most women will accept a man that was broken staying with his mom and tell me I'm gonna give him a chance. Some would, but in general, most wouldn't. So you just have to deal with it. That's just the consequence.
Because Lord knows I've never gotten on the phone. I've never picked up. Swag is outrageous. I just want to say I love y'all, black men, and thank y'all for everything that you do. Because Lord knows I've never gotten on the phone. I've never picked up my phone and made a phone call, and it hasn't been a black man to come through and help me and always assist me in whatever it is that I needed. Even when it come down to roadside assistance, somehow it's always a black man. So thank y'all for being who y'all are. Inside and out. I love y'all to pieces. Even the ones that don't think I love y'all, the incels. I love y'all too.
Now look at what she said. She said the incels. She said the incels. Basically, that was just a slap in the face. She said we love the incels too. She said we love the incels, guys. I don't think y'all heard that. She said we love the incels. Basically, a backhanded compliment. A backhanded comment. Shout out to my man, Swore the Spirit. Shout out to Chris G. Chris G said, putting the DMX photo from his dark and the hill is hot in the dumbness. Shout out to him. Shout out to my man Representative showing love for the 10. Thank you, brother Representative. He says a Christian man who raised my kid as a single dad. It's hard. Yes, sir. It's hard finding a church where they honor traditional gender roles. Yes, sir. As described in the Bible. Yet, I will not give up the search. Let me tell you something, Brother Tyson. You need to travel abroad. Get your passport and reach forward. Because I know what you're talking about, too. I was a superintendent for years in the church, and you're correct. And so I would advise you, Brother Tyson, to get you a passport and ask the Holy Spirit to guide you and say, Lord, show me where my wife is at. And go and travel, man. Go travel and ask the Holy Spirit to guide you to an area or a place where you can find you a traditional wife that understands her assignment. Because you're not getting nothing here but trash. You will be damn searching forever trying to find a competent, godly woman. I'm not saying they don't exist. But most of them don't stand on biblical authority. That's why I don't go to church myself anymore. I'm not against the church itself, but the so-called ambassadors of the cross I cannot and will not do. Get your passport, brother. Travel abroad. Ask the Lord to lead you and guide you because he defines a wife. Find it a good thing. And travel across the traverses of the universe. Go to Ghana, go to Northeast Africa, go to Kenya, go to the Philippines, go where they actually know and understand what their role is. With the understanding that women abroad are not perfect. Women abroad got game too, but here's the difference with women abroad compared to here. They've been socialized different. They've been socialized better to be wives. If you keep that in mind, you'll be fine, man. And so that's what you need to do. Don't waste your time on fallow ground.
Thank y'all for being y'all. I love y'all black men. Nobody does it like y'all. Nobody's as strong as y'all. The resilience that y'all show. is ironclad. And I want to thank you. And I love you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day. The journey that you're walking in life, I hope that God continues to walk with you. I hope that you do understand and you do know that I do love you.
Yeah, she love you. She love y'all she love y'all after she had all her fun. And if you don't believe me, ask Corey.
Loser ass nigga.
Your video with comments about
He's a
certain
loser.
other female. Just to let you niggas know, we don't need y'all. We want y'all, but we don't need you.
20 years later.
Our black men, we want all y'all back. Because we love you, we see you, kings. And most importantly, we need you. And most importantly, we need you.
And most importantly, we need you.
You can't.
If you a that's for the streets.
You can't delete the ski. You can't delete the ski.
I know a who used to suck dick every month of night.
You can't
delete your. You can't delete it. You cannot delete your history. And a lot of guys are saying, you know what, we're fed up.
Been hurt enough to look in the mirror and say, I deserve to be protected.
She deserved. Listen.
I deserve to have the best of life.
Listen, you hear what she said, guys? She said that's narcissism. She didn't say I desire. I want, and I think I should earn my way into a man's life. But she said that I deserve. That's a lack of self-awareness, and that's why I do these shows. She says she deserved. Ma'am, you don't deserve anything. Men don't deserve your love, and they don't deserve your nurturance. Just like you don't deserve his protection. But she said deserve. She deserved. This is the rampant delusion of these modern women.
You just haven't reached rock bottom yet. I pray it never happens to you. But when it does, I hope God is with you. Because it definitely isn't going to be a black man sitting next to you. I promise you that. Respectfully.
Overgeneralizing, but there's always Mother Africa, guys. Always Mother Africa.
Seeing black men who are Americans intermarry with African ladies. I don't know what is going on, but I have never seen it.
Because first things first, the first and simplest way to get into someone's culture is intermarrying. Find yourself an African black girl like us and marry us.
But here we are fighting.
I didn't know we had beef, and now it's there.
But ask yourself, who gave you that beef on me? Who gave you that history about me? Did you write your history about yourself?
No.
Do we write our history in schools in Africa?
No, we don't.
So why are we each other's enemy?
Exactly.
Black men, please, on behalf of black women, this is one thing we want y'all to know right now. When we bring to light an issue or an experience, when we are expressing our grievances or our troubles that come with being a black woman in this world, it is not your opportunity to tell us how you ain't like that, or how you don't personally do the thing we're talking about, so therefore it must not be that common. Stop acting like the clear-colored people of our race. If you don't know what else to do, just listen. That's it. Listen. Extra points for empathy. I know that may be asking a lot, but try it. I know this may be a big word for Elmo, but maybe even validate her experience?
Validate her experience. Listen.
But in the name of Jesus H. Christ, stop trying to minimize or detract or distract by not all manning us to death.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? I'm good. Look at here, look. To my ladies, my melanated queens that look like me, y'all come forth. Let's have a little chit chat right quick. Look, y'all, what's this new trend going on? This black wife effect and all this and that. Do y'all see the agenda? Can y'all catch the drift? Anybody? Come on now, let's do better. Cause why? Why is the black woman needed to build every other nation except for their own? I mean, we can clearly see as a people that our nation, that the people that look like us, we're in a position that we can't do too much. And then we look at our men and see our men struggling and just going through it on a day-to-day basis, but yet we rather get with these other nations and try to build them up. Why? It's these other nations that cause the problems that we have now. They did everything in their power to break the black woman and the black man up. And
And see, there are wise women like this, dear sister. She gets it. See, I like to highlight positive black women. People think that, we hate women and all that. No, we just call out BS when we see it. This is a wise black woman. She's very wise. She's very wise. She's very cerebral. And she gets it. And we need more just like her.
They succeeded with that. And now you have the black man going to the Chinese and the Japanese for a check. And you have the black woman going to the YT man to give him an effect that his own woman can't even give him. Let the apples stay with the apples and the grapes stay with the grapes, because it ain't no mixing. You're not supposed to mix, first of all. But second,
well, I don't agree with that, ma'am. I don't agree with that. God is not against race. God is not racist. God don't see human beings based on skin color. God looks at the heart of man. Even God said Jesus said, "Who is my brother?" He said that he that does the will of the Father is my brother. God don't look at folks based on skin color. That's where I got to disagree with you at. If a black man find an Asian woman that's going to love him and respect him, then I say, black man, you marry your Asian woman. If the black man find a white woman that's going to love him and respect him, then I say, black man, you marry your white woman. If the black man can find a Latina woman that's going to love him, respect him, and honor him, then black man, I say you marry a Latina woman. No longer will we be slaves to race loyalty, because there's no such thing as race, but skin loyalty, because all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And so if black men find women that's going to love them, respect them, and honor them, then that's what black men got to do. Because if I was single, I would not be loyal to no skin color. I'm not just going to be, if a woman from a different hue show me some love, then I get with her. Would I prefer black women? Yes. But I don't believe in that nonsense. And you're right. She does look mixed. You're right. She looks mixed, brothers. I agree.
Second of all, why would you go to another nation of people to uplift them when your own nation needs to be built up? Why? You mean to tell me you can go over here and build up this man, make him look like the man that your father looks like? You turn this whole Keebler into a Daquan. Because why? He's gonna forever be the Keebler. He can never be the Daquan. It's an act. So why? And then you have the black men who choose to date outside or marry outside. Why? She could never.
Simple. Why? It's simple. Why? Because black men are looking for peace. The scripture said, who can stand a quarrelsome and a contentious woman? It says she runs a man on the rooftop. So men want peace. The scripture also says that a wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman tears it down. If an Asian woman give a black man peace, then black men should go for that Asian woman, because the black seed determines the sex of the child. So, I understand what she's trying to say, but black men do what they want to do. We are the arbiters of relationships. We determine who we marry, not black women. The woman needs to be in a position to receive the love of a good black man, but she does not deserve his love and protection by default, no more than a man deserves her nurturing, her femininity by default. It's something that we both must earn.
It's a void that she'll never be able to fulfill. It's a void that he'll never be able to fulfill, because we need each other. The black woman is built for the black man, and the black man is built for the black woman. We are to build our nation. Our nation has been downtrodden for I don't know how long. It's time for us to build our men. Let the Keeblers have the Keeblers. Let little essay them have little essay them. Let whoever have whoever. Let Ching Chong have Ling Ling. Okay? They have their own nation. They have their own God. They have their own way of living.
But what she doesn't understand is that essays there are black Mexicans. There are a lot of black Mexicans. There are Asians with African ancestry. So, you can't really say that.
And then you have to, these people broke us. We're in these situations as a nation of people because these other nations did what they did. They crafted.
Shout out to Bashur for that $5 super chat. Thank you, dear. I appreciate it. Shout out to Sister Bashur Shed Banayahu. Thank you, dear. Appreciate it.
The council, they gathered themselves together and they was like, we're going to stop this nation from being a nation. They came in with all their laws, and if you want this, you got to let the black man out the house. If you want this, you got to get him out the way. And it worked. So much so that we in a whole nother household we ain't got no business being in. He could never fulfill what you need. She could never fulfill what you need because she's not built for you. He's not built for you.
I disagree with that. I understand where she's coming from, but I disagree with that. I do believe there should be unison among those of the African diaspora. But as I said earlier, God doesn't see color. And neither should you, if she's a woman that understands her assignment. She was raised right. I don't think men should limit themselves based on skin color. Race loyalty has not done anything for competent heterosexual black men. It hasn't done anything for them. And so if a woman loves a man, she's going to honor a man and respect a man. As I said earlier, that's what that man needs to go for.
Why don't we try to uplift our own men? Why don't we respect our own men? Let's give that a try. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. We were meant to be together. We were not meant to be separate. The man is the head of the household. That right. Just is the way it is. A woman is to be feminine.
Yeah, I agree with the sister on that. She's right. I respect her for that. I just don't agree with that, But I understand she's correct. I respect the woman for that. I respect her for that. She's 100% correct with that. Shout out to her for that.
You don't have to be hard. You have women out here crying on a day-to-day basis about how hard life is. It's hard because you're trying to be a man. You're not the man. Sit down, settle down, be a feminine woman the way the Most High intended you to be. You can't do it all by yourself. Let that man lead. You don't like letting the man lead, so you want to go somewhere where you feel like you can be a boss and take over. No, baby. It don't work like that. That's why you're so stressed out.
Yep, she's telling the truth. Gregory Scotland said that Tim Howard said, protect your seat, Jim. He said, we have black women who ask black men to come and be with them, yet they say they don't measure up because they don't have a college degree, even though they make more money. Yeah, I saw that nonsense, man. I saw that nonsense, Gregory. And Gregory Scotland, he is the #1 sponsor of the stream. But I saw that nonsense, Gregory. Brother Gregory is the #1 sponsor of the stream. A degree doesn't mean anything but that. I was a blue-collar guy, a white-collar guy. I was blue-collar before I was white-collar. I used to work in a factory. I did it all. So, to nullify a man just because he don't have a degree is foolish to me. So shout out to Gregory, #1 sponsor. Thank you, sir.
Left it to the bank line.
All right. Let's get back to it.
We need to get it together as a people and love our own, build our own community. And let them be what they gon', be with your own. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody think about no black wife effect. I'm gonna affect my man, my black man. And he's gonna know every day that he's loved. He's gonna know every day that he's a king. You don't need to go elsewhere to feel valued. Because that's the building of the black woman is supposed to build her man, not another nation. We need to do better. Let's try it, okay? I love y'all. Bye.
Yeah.
Down the rabbit hole we go. This is a place where we explore, analyze, collaborate.
Did you guys, I want to make sure that y'all heard what I was saying. Did y'all hear what I said, or was I like completely talking to myself?
And I am so proud of you, and you are doing everything you need to.
And I am so thankful for you, the way that you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders and you still show up.
I love you, black man. I love everything about you. Cocoa butter, vanilla, vanilla swirl, cocoa mocha latte, chocolate, dark chocolate. It doesn't matter the color. I love you. I love your skin. And don't forget to remind yourself that you are royalty.
Black brother, I love you. I will never try to hurt you.
Y'all swag is outrageous. I just want to say I love y'all, black men, and thank y'all for everything that you do.
The head of my household, my protector, my king, my provider, my best friend, my main man, your biggest fan. I am your cheerleader, and I'm going to ride for you.
I thank you because you're not the statistic that everyone makes you out to be. However, I see a different vision of you.
Black man, black man, black man.
And royalty does, in fact, look like you. And let me remind you how special and...
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you believe it's genuine? If you believe it's genuine, hit 1. Or do you think it's coming from a place of survival? If you think it's coming from a place of survival, hit 2. Hit 1 if you think it's genuine. Hit 2 if you think it's coming from a place of survival.
how precious and how rare your energy is.
I love you, black man. I love you, black man. I love you, black man.
I love you, black man. I love you, black man.
I love you, black man.
I love you, black men.
I see someone strong. I see someone powerful. I see someone who knows who he is in his own right. And I just want to say, thank you, black man. Thank you.
I'm your rib, your rest and your brokenness, your place of peace amongst the world's craziness. Our home will be your oasis.
And I am so proud of you, and you are doing everything you need to, because we would not get this far without you. Black men deserve to be lifted and talked about highly, and I appreciate you.
Well, thank y'all for being who y'all are. Because Lord knows I've never gotten on the phone. I've never picked up my phone and made a phone call, and it hasn't been a black man to come through and help me and always assist me in whatever it is that I needed.
Not to take anything away from any other races, but there is nothing like having a strong, empowered, successful in his own mind, in his own being, black man.
I love you, black man. I love you, black man. I love you, black man.
I see you. I am so proud of you, and I'm excited for you to get everything that you're working towards. I believe in you, but really, I hope that you believe in yourself. Keep going.
I love your hair, I love your ears, I love your teeth, I love your eyes. They're so pretty. I love everything about you. I love your hands, I love your feet, and I trust them to guide me. I love everything inside you and out. I love you.
Right.
I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true, cause you're in your brokenness, your place of
it's hold on a minute.
I want you to.
It sounds like a lot of brothers are saying this too. I'm curious. How many of you brothers gonna reach back? If you're gonna reach back after the recession, I want you to hit 1. If you're gonna reach forward and find your wife from another culture, or just keep your head down and grind, then I need you to hit 2. If you're gonna reach back, hit 1. But if you're gonna keep your head down and grind, I need you to hit 2. I'm trying to see something. I'm trying to see something, guys, because I got to keep it kosher. I got to keep it kosher. But most of the brothers say they think it's a farce.
You know that I'm here for you forever true, cause you are my.
Hey, black man, I just wanted you to know that you are appreciated, you are respected, and you are loved by me and so many others. But you got this, you always do. Just know that you are needed and necessary. Thank you for all that you do.
And your creativity. We need your hugs.
You're rock, so you stand. You are bold, resilient, compassionate, and beautiful.
You are deserving of the very best that life has to offer.
Your place of relief, because I know you fight with the world on a daily basis, praying that you don't become one of those cases where someone's misplaced hate puts you on the wrong side of a gun. I know you want to quit sometimes. I know it's hard. The fact that the weight of the world is in your arms, but you don't have to run from me and you don't have to front. You see, I love you, black man.
The way that you move through the universe, commanding your space in it, you are seen, and it is a pleasure seeing you. Nobody could ever quantify the significance of your presence. You are individually designed, battle-tested, and blessed with the power of being boundless. Thank you for existing. You complement the world so well.
I love your brain, I love your heart, I love your strength, I love your power. I love your emotions, I love the way you cry. Did I mention I love the way you cry? I love the way you laugh. I love the way you smell. I love the way you smell. And I can't wait to have beautiful black babies and be your lady and show the world how beautiful my family is, how beautiful you are. Because you're everything. And I love you. Everything about you.
I love you, black man.
I love you, black man.
I love all you black, chocolate, caramel, hazelnut men.
You are my rock, and I am your peace. Black man, I love you. We love you. We appreciate you. Okay? And we need you.
I love y'all to pieces. Even the ones that don't think I love y'all.
No, they can't keep it up.
I love y'all
they
too.
can't keep
Thank
it up.
y'all for being y'all. I love y'all black men. Nobody does it like y'all.
They can't keep
Nobody's
it up,
as strong as y'all. The resilience that y'all show is ironclad. And I want to thank you. And I love you so much.
I love you. We love you.
But
Yeshua loves you more. Repent and turn, prodigal sons, and rise kings.
The reason why Affirmations for Black Men has like transformed and changed my life particularly is because the more that I affirmed Black men every day for 2 years, the more that I realized I didn't love them as much as I thought I did.
Speak more.
It was the act of finding something different, of studying, of trying and looking to understand. It made me realize that I had never done that before. Until it became something that I was doing because I saw.
Yeah, brothers. Now, all these brothers said too. They're gonna tell y'all who hurt you and your mama black. Ray Johnson said he gonna reach forward. He said he gonna reach forward. He said he ain't going back into the time machine. He said he ain't got the Doctor Who spirit. He got the. He said he gonna reach forward into the future. Brother Eric Debman said he gonna reach forward into the future. Quiet Face said he's gonna reach forward into the future. He said he's gonna reach forward. Master Nunn said I have found some really good black women, so I haven't fully given up on all of them. I respect that. I don't doubt that they don't exist, but it's not enough. And maybe you, Master None, can link some of these brothers up with good women here in the West, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And kudos to you, Master None, for finding good sisters, man. Kudos to you. Quiet Face said no reach back, not even for those in trap back. Man, you wild, man. You wrong for that, Quiet Face. Bashir said, not one knows if they are sincere unless you get to actually know. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Bashir. Yeah, you don't. You don't know if they're sincere. And we've seen the script too long. Tim Howard said, when they vote to get rid of child support, no fault divorce is misandric and male sex courts or just to make it fair, then we might know it's true. Other than that, it's just all talk. I agree. Thank you, Hashim. Yeah, I'm good now. Bashir said, as for Trump winning the 92%, 80%, as for Trump winning, the 92% and 80% are the ones out there protesting, but are out there arresting. Yeah. Yeah. You're right. This is torture. My eyes and ears hurt. He said disingenuous. What you know about a back shot, Quiet Face, man? What you know about back shots, man? That's why
all that people needed. And then I started to do it. And I was like, you're telling me I've lived 27 years of my life and I haven't cared to try to understand Black men. I haven't even cared to try. And I would consider myself a really loving person. But for a while, I have been encouraged to invest in only self or understand only self or try to get only for self. And I think that there was this also idea that I already knew him. I already knew everything I needed to know about him. I would study him for what? Get to know it. What is the reason? He's always there. Affirming Black men every single day for 2 years woke me up. It was like an awakening. Like I thought I had loved Black men. And then the more that I intentionally put effort to do so.
Here's what you can expect to pay for your tax prep.
Wait, this is backwards. My last tax guy only ever told me the price after he
realized how much I didn't. And I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting.
You loved Black men in a dimension where it was very easy for you to say that you did.
Well, at least I respect this woman for trying, but many don't understand Black men. Many don't know what Black men want. And I will argue that many don't care what Black men want because they haven't been raised to be wives. They've been raised to be career women.
He's always here. That's taking him for granted. This is how it is that I see him. But you're not allowing him to tell you who it is that he is.
All right, so I'm gonna speed it up a little bit.
On these like this fake persona of a feminine woman simply because they want their bills paid. Right. And so this idea of the reach back being like, hey, don't fall for it. But nevertheless, I think the idea of the reach back, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the comment section, is basically, it is a term that is used to describe women who basically start moonwalking backwards as soon as they realize that they are not able to do things by themselves, right? So that's to say, we have a whole bunch of different ladies who for X amount of years have been saying that they don't need men, they're independent, they don't want men, men are nice to have, but they're not necessities.
Right. They said we don't want you. We don't need Black men. Women are survivalists by nature. Part of their nature is to survive. That's part of their nature. Their nature is to survive. And they will about face in order to survive. And times are getting tough, but you got to hold the line, man. And until they start marching, I did a show years ago called "Until They March." until they start marching, until they start repealing certain policies, you'll know it's just all talk, man. Let me tell you, man, something. You'll know that a woman loves you when it costs her outside of herself. You'll know that a woman really loves you when it costs her something outside of how she feels. That's true love. When it costs her something, then you know she really loves you because it's a sacrifice. And many times they're not going to sacrifice anything that makes them or hurts their feelings. It's just not in their nature to do it.
But then as soon as the economy hits them, they start getting the, sending out the, hey, big head text messages. All of a sudden they start visiting old boyfriends. All of a sudden this femininity just comes out of nowhere. And so this whole idea of like these women who are basically putting on somewhat of a fake, putting on femininity, putting on these like this fake persona of a feminine woman simply because they want their bills paid. Right. And so this idea of the reach back being like, hey, don't fall for it. Don't fall for the all of a sudden fake, cheesy, just really unrealistic fake femininity that some of these ladies are about to start to try to project as soon as the economy hits them, right? So this is an idea that I saw floating around over the last
shout out to Shay Sade. She's telling the truth. She's giving y'all some free game because it's fake. Listen, guys, I've been doing content for almost 4 years, and I want my channel to grow. I'm gonna start doing some different things. I've just been so busy. I finally got my license. For my practice. I finally got re-licensed for until 2027. Guys, this was the course that I took for marriage therapy. I'm gonna cover my name up. But this was the coursework that I took for marriage therapy, for the marriage therapy courses I took. That was in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I got 12 CEUs for this class. And I was in Punta Cana. It was a good trip. And so I've been grinding, man. I've been grinding, trying to get this paper up, trying to be debt free, trying to get my mental right, and just trying to live my life, man. And I'm going to live it. I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to enjoy my life in these next couple of years with God's grace. I'm not going to be with no woman that's going to be damn stressing me out. If you're causing me stress, I got to get rid of you. I'm going to get rid of you. If you're stressing me out, I'm going to get rid of you.
Now, it's funny that as these conversations happened, lo and behold, the videos like this started popping up in my feed. Actually, to be honest, these videos are videos that my husband sent me. Right? My husband, obviously being a Black man, all of a sudden he was getting all these videos in his feed about Black women who are like, sending affirmations, heart emojis, we love you, sending blow kisses, doing poems, singing to them. And he's like, wow, the timing of this is really, really peculiar. So that's what I wanted to follow up about this. And I wanted to discuss it because even when I saw your guys' response, and the mixed feedback, I think it really gave me a good indication as to, again, where people are at with this whole thing, and ultimately just what is really going on in today's dating market. Now, to be clear, some of the videos that I actually shared with you guys, some of these videos were done over the last few weeks. I'm not even gonna lie, but some of the videos actually happened before, before this year, before Trump came to office, before some of these economic changes. Some of the videos are actually older, so I can't say that 100% of people are all women, all these women are pandering. I don't really know. It's not it's not for me to say. I'm not these ladies, but I do think I wanted to have this conversation about. First of all, do you guys buy this stuff at all? Are you guys just anytime now you're seeing a Black man affirmation, you're turning the other way, right? Secondly, what does it even really take for ladies who are actually serious about wanting to work with a Black man, who are wanting to find somebody to work with, be somebody's wife eventually, if they want to be that person, what would it actually take? What are genuine things that a woman would need to display to actually show that she's not just moonwalking backwards, right, from some crazy stuff she said before, that she's not just pulling a reach back, but she's actually genuine. So that's one of the things I wanted to unpack today. Anyways, guys, for those of you who are hopping in, like, share, and subscribe. Now, the first thing I want to do, since I showed you guys just a quick recap, I wanted to now go down and look at the actual comments, because I think the comments had really gave me, again, some insight into how you guys were feeling about this whole thing. And honestly, I have to say there was a lot of mixed feedback. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the comment section first and hear what y'all have to say about the response. Let me pull this up. Shout out to you with the 2 and the super chat says it doesn't matter how old videos are, it's still BS. Yeah, so I understand that there are guys.
Yeah, a lot of guys see this BS, man. A lot of guys that see this it's just her reverting back to her primal nature, which is security. I told you she wants resources, attention, and time, and your time, but mostly she wants resources. She's looking for a rest. It's part of her nature. Women are survivors by nature, you know. That's why the X chromosome is the last one. The Y chromosomes die off fast. Women are survivalists, and they would turn to a chameleon in a heartbeat when it comes down to surviving. They would turn to a chameleon in a heartbeat.
Guys out there who they've already like lockout, right? I think that's the term, right? Where it's just like there is no turning back. There is no engagement. There is no conversation. Like you have completely left the conversation. You're in a whole different world. You grab your passports. You're not even dealing with American women. You are not dealing with Black women. You are not dating at all, right? Like I understand that there's different perspectives around. And then there's also men who were actually very flattered. Some who felt like this gave them a sense of hope. Some who were just like who were affirming this. So there was definitely mixed reaction. But
shout out to my man Tim Howard for blessing me with 5 membership. Tim Howard showing love always. Tim Howard has been a ride or die man with me, man, from day one, man. Man, damn, Tim Howard, man, we go back to the latter parts of 2021. Tim Howard's been a gem. He's been with me for a while. Gregory Scotland have. These brothers have held me down, and I'm forever grateful. So shout out to my man Tim Howard. Thank you.
But let me pull up really quickly the video so we can look at some of the comments real quick before I share a few of the things. Okay. Okay, so we're looking back we're going back to the video that I shared earlier, 8 minutes of feminine Black woman, affirming Black women, right? Because that was the whole thing of just basically affirmations. So let's look at the top comments, right? Here it says, rest in peace, Angie Stone, her song, but it always put me in a good mood. Okay, so we had, positive things to say. That was in response to one of the ladies in there who was singing that song. Let's see. It says, every Black man needs to write a thank you letter to Angie Stone for the song, brother. You can tell when she wrote that she meant those words, rest in power, angel, right? I mean, I think by and large, a lot of the people that I've seen had really positive things to say about Angie Stone. No hate there, like just all love. Okay. Let's move on here. It says action is everything. Words never matching the action. So here, right here, this first comment is saying, nah, don't fall for the reach back, basically. Do not fall for it. We don't really want to hear your poems. We don't really want to hear your songs. Like that doesn't really mean anything. Really what we need to hear and what we need to see is some action, right? So interesting point here that it says, I agree. This is just Cope from Magazine. It says real talk. So this one says, speak for yourself once again.
What would the action look like? What would the action look like? And some of you guys have already said it, but some of you men, what do you need to see definitively? Even though I know you don't care. But what do you need to see definitively?
Yeah, so it looks like this person is not necessarily in agreement. This one here says we can't even appreciate the good woman because you're holding a grudge for all of them instead of acknowledging positivity. You're doing the same thing women do when they generalize all of it. So this person is like, nah, like look at you. Like you're so bitter, basically, is what it sounds like. You're so bitter that you're quick to throw all women under the bus. So this one is saying, listen, not all kind of thing. This means nothing. We men don't care about apologies, respect, and appreciate us in real life. Right.
Shout out to my man Quiet Faith. He's now a member of this prestigious channel. Shout out to Quiet Faith, always showing love, brother Quiet Faith. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother, for your kindness. And also thank you for your support, Quiet Faith. Thank you, sir, for that membership.
Right. So going back to what I've been saying and what I think a lot of men have been saying, they really don't care about the performative stuff. They really don't care too much about, the songs and the TikTok videos and the Instagram reels and the social media, because honestly, sometimes that stuff, let's just be honest, sometimes that stuff isn't even done for the men. Because men don't even
And a lot of these guys they're highly predictable. Female nature is very predictable. You just got to watch it. But female nature, guys, is very predictable. You just got to watch it and study it and hold the line. But it's very predictable. Very predictable.
Most men don't even really like move like that, right? Like some of that stuff is just done because these ladies themselves want their own validation or want their own attention, right? So it's like, if you are really serious about wanting to show the man, because first of all, you don't need to be showing all Black men out there that like you want to be his helpmate, like all it takes is one. But if you're serious about wanting to actually show people in your life, somebody in your life that you're serious, you don't need necessarily to go on social media and do a whole affirmation series on it, per se. You don't need to do that per se, right? Like you can actually demonstrate in your own life that is what you want to do through action. So that's what a lot of men, from what I've heard up to this point, are saying. Like, miss me with the TikTok videos, miss me with the affirmations. That's not what I need, right? So that's what some men are saying. So actions speak louder than words. This one says, I appreciate Shay and I appreciate Black men as well. So this one looked like they had positive stuff to say. This one says, I can appreciate the sentiment, but I've learned long ago that actions and behavior speaks louder than words. Moreover, thank you for what you do, Mr. Shay. Yeah, so again, this is like a thing that I'm seeing over and over again. Like, yeah, some people are saying, okay, this is cool, whatever, but like what your actions saying, some men are just like, this is just cat, period. I don't want to hear none of this stuff. I don't want to hear a poem. I don't want to hear a song. I don't want to hear it. Like, you just respect me in real life. This one says, the hey, big head text is on 1 million. This one says, I guess the rent is due. This one here says, Shay, God bless you for promoting Black love. Lots of love from Black brother in London, UK. All I want is a godly, virtuous Black queen in my life. Right. So also, real talk, I mean, there's a legitimate percentage, even with all the craziness that's going on right now, there's still a legitimate amount of men who just honestly want a good woman. Like, they're not asking for anything crazy. They're not asking for even a supermodel or nothing like that. They just want like a good woman that they can work with. And this kind of content, right? What it does is it can give men hope that those women still exist, even if they are down in the rough, even if they are hidden somewhere or just like quiet.
Now this is what she say. And she's right. Even if they're down, my daughter's a diamond in the rough. My baby, I love my daughter's 20 years old. She's raised right. She ain't ran through. She's cute. She's in college. I got one. So at some point, I got two good girls that haven't been ran through and been taught right. So at some point, I'm gonna try to link up with some good brothers that got their head on right, and see if I can find my babies. Put my daughters in position to find good men. I don't want my daughters to deal with no dusty men. So that's what I'm gonna do. I want my girls to get with good men. Good men that have a good heart. They're not dealing with narcissism due to trauma. They got a heart for Christ. They're not manipulative. They respect me as a man, and we sit down as men and talk. That's the kind of men that I want around my daughters.
They're out there. Okay, let's look at some other feedback. It says, wow, those layoffs and egg prices must be hitting pretty hard. Yeah, so like I said, so y'all, many of the men here were not buying it. They were not moved or impressed at all. This one here says, I have to admit, my first impression of this was to ask myself, are these black women caping? After decades of contempt by black women in general toward us, hearing this from black women raises an eyebrow. However, it is much better than the decentered content so often spewed and liked by the millions on these internet streets. Black female affirmations will have to be followed up by real, sincere actions. Thank you, Sister Shay, for sharing this, right? So, this is over here, been married 37 years to black women, still going strong. Nice to see and hear the positive advice for change. I've always preferred black women to keep up. Ladies, it feels nice. So, we love you black women too, so we're seeing a mixture here, but an overwhelming majority right here says, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. This one says, I don't know, y'all. Too many have spoken their truth a long time ago about us. This one right here, hashtag no reachbacks. Like I said before, y'all like, no, this is just too late. So, y'all can go check out the comment section, but there seems to be this consistent theme, truly, of, this would be a lot better if this was followed up by actions. Miss me with the TikTok videos, miss me with Instagram reels, miss me even with these cute little posts, these little poems. No, can you actually demonstrate in real life? Can you demonstrate in real life? Can you demonstrate in real life that you respect and love me, that you care about me, right? And so we're obviously seeing this side. But on the other end, there are men in there who are very clear and vocal. They're like, we love you too, queens. I saw some of that. I saw some men who are like, yeah, like this is what I like to hear. I'm also looking for a beautiful black woman. So this one right here, this is so sweet, beautiful, and thoughtful of black women if it's sincere and from the heart, because most of the good black women go unheard. We do exist. This one, yeah. So that one has something nice to say. So yeah, so definitely, I mean, y'all got the picture. It's a mixture. It's very, very much a mixture. But from what I can see, at least in the comment section, there's a big majority of men who are just like, can you tell us this is real? Can you prove to us that this is legitimate? Because a few Instagram videos is not going to be able to undo decades upon decades of disrespect, followed by actual things that are said or done in real life to reinforce that. Okay, so on that, what I wanted to do now was play two content creators who I think represent very much the opposite side of the spectrum in terms of how black men right now perceive black women. We have one who openly claims and loves to pander to black women. He said that out of his own mouth. I'm going to play some of it. And then we have the other one, kind of a commentary, who is pushing the lockout and is basically pushing that no black men ever deal with what he calls Keisha, which is basically black women, right? That black men completely leave the Keishas behind. So I'm going to share, first of all, I'm going to share a little bit of Afro Think Tank. He's a content creator who says he is happy to pander and speak positively to black women. And I want to share some of what he has to say. And like I said, I think he represents one opposite side of the spectrum of the kind of commentators of the world, right? Or that side which says we don't want nothing to do with y'all. So okay, let me pull up the first video. Shout out to you guys on first the level on the Cash App. It says it doesn't matter how old videos are, it's still BS, right? So this is somebody who just isn't buying it. This one again. Shout out to you for the 5. It says once again you were not going to hold their feet to the 5 black women. And now they have to fit. Okay, this one says black men need mandatory paternity testing, 50-50 custody. Yeah, I actually agree with that. I've long been a supporter of mandatory paternity testing. But here it says same chicks. We're saying abort black male babies. Yeah, I mean, listen, I was pissed the hell off when I heard that. The abort black male babies, that made my blood boil. That to me is one of the most disturbing things. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say all black women said that. Cynthia G specifically said that. Let's just be very clear. Cynthia G was the one who said that. I am not claiming that, and I know I'm not putting that on all black women. She said that. She's the one that promoted that. Now,
and a woman like Cynthia Flee, she got a lot of unresolved trauma, man. Cynthia Flee. Cynthia Flee got a lot of unresolved trauma.
Now, with that, she did.
Well, we know it's all goobly god, guys. A lot of guys ain't taking this crap serious, man. Guys are either putting their head down, stacking their bread, or they traveling, man, and dealing with women from foreign countries, man. They're not dealing with this American trash, man. And I don't blame them. If you can find a solid one, then it's fine. But in general, they damn near hard to find, because what are you getting? If they ain't got kids with other men, they've been with a lot of men. So what are you getting that you can be proud of as a man? And, it's one thing to have a low body count to a virgin. But, some people say, well, is it unrealistic for a man to say he want a woman that's been with under 5 guys? It's unrealistic for a man to say he want a woman that's been with under 10. And I think 10 is technically too many, but it's not that bad and it ain't that good. But what is the man getting? Nothing but trauma and used cat.
Did have a group of obviously very upset, bitter, and angry women who supported her. She did. So I'm not going to deny that because that obviously happened. And the fact that her channel is even back up now is really interesting because I'm like, she literally got removed for that reason, but now she's back just a few months up. So that's a whole other thing. But nevertheless, yes, she did say that. And she did have black women who said that. But as a black woman, I do not identify with that. I do not support that. I push against that. I have never supported abortion. I will not, and I certainly don't support aborting black male babies, the deletion of black male babies, because that's evil. To me, I believe that's evil on multiple levels. Like, I don't think you should not use abortion as birth control. That's not how this is supposed to work. That's not how this works, and that's why people are screwed up partially. That's why some of these ladies got mental issues and they're on all kind of antidepressants and on bipolar stuff and whatever. It's like because there's so much energy, like because they're literally with so much like negative energy that's they're introducing to their life when they literally are like deleting a human from their body. Like ladies don't understand, like this isn't just like you're going to the bathroom, you're getting your teeth cleaned, you're doing your hair. Like people like to present it like that. Like deleting a baby is something that is very, very minuscule and you can just do it and it has no impact on your conscious or your spiritual or emotional well-being. People can lie about that, but the reality is that lands. And even if a woman is not aware, even if she is not aware and she sits here and acts like she's happy about it, trust and believe there's something in her life that is disarray as a result.
Brother.
Especially if she keeps on doing it over and over and over and over again. Did not mean to get on a tangent. But that is horrible. And it's so crazy to me that ladies like to sit around and complain about black men supposedly killing black women or deleting black women every, what's that lie every 15 seconds or whatever? It's like that lie that I debunked that a few years ago. But it's this whole idea of like, oh, every hour or something, right? Pretty frequently, a black man is like unaliving a black woman and they're so violent. So there's all this propaganda about supposedly how much black men are unaliving black women, but nobody wants to sit here and talk about the amount of deletions that are happening in the womb of black women and what that is literally doing to them spiritually. Like it's not a joke, it's not a game. And then we sit here and wonder why there's so much disarray. It's like, what have you done? What have you been doing? How have you been literally sowing into the destruction, into the deceit of your own community? So that like I said, don't give me a tangent. Okay. Let me see over here. Let me play. So I'm gonna play real quick. I'm gonna play this video real quick of Afro Think Tank. This is a man who, like I said, is very, very open about his love for black women. And in this video, he talks about why he likes to pander to black women. Okay.
What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank, and today I'm going to pander to black women. I'm going to pander to black women. You know how weird men hate men who pander.
Hold on. Are you guys ready for me to do the simp of the week? Because this is the simp of the week, guys. This is the part of the show where we're gonna do the simp of the week. Hold tight. We're gonna do the simp of the week. We're gonna do the simp of the week because this guy right here. He is the simp, guys, of the week. Afro Think Tank is the simp of the week. Hold tight.
This is the part of the show where we expose Simps of the Week. SPAM is an acronym created by the Kosher Clinician that stands for Simps Pandering Against Men. Get your popcorn ready as we expose the men that simp.
Yeah, tell Maui, he's the simp of the week. Afro Think Tank, he's the simp of the week. Hold on. Let me add it back, guys. He's the simp of the week. Hold on. Afro Think Tank is the simp of the week. Shout out to Afro Think Tank.
Especially because they hate black women. So they want other men to hate black women. But listen, I'm a real black man. And as a real black man, I love women. I like to look at them. I love to listen to them. I love all that, right? First thing I do every morning is I wake up and I see my beautiful.
And this simp is so dumb because to say that black men hate black women would say that all black men are SYSBM. SYSBM men tend to date with white women. But black men don't hate black women. It's dumb because a lot of black men travel abroad and date women from other countries, black women from other countries. So they hate the behavior. So, Afro Think Tank, man, you simping, brother. You simping real hard. You simping on the dock of debate, man.
Black wife. My beautiful wife who is as black as a night. I get to wake up and see her and be like, dang, that woman's fine. So I do that, right?
And them Hotep guys are the worst guys. Many times they're frauds or like yada yada, or they were raised by single women. They are the biggest simps and the biggest hypocrites, like Umar Johnson as well.
And I say that to say this whole video, my wife may be mad, but I don't think she will, right? Because she's gonna say what's wrong.
Hey, North Carolina homeowners, if your AC unit is more than 5 years old, you could have the entire.
Best way to get rid of stinky dog breath: crunchy veggies for natural cleaning. Nope. Green chews from the pet store.
Despite all the trash talking about black women that I see on the internet, the negative, there is a universe of negativity towards black women on the internet, right? And there are some black women that are being less than what they're capable of being. They are being less than what is expected of them, right? Same as men, right? But to be honest, right, in 2024, I truly enjoy getting on the internet and scrolling through my curated algorithmic YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok pages and seeing all the beautiful women in every sector of entertainment. I absolutely love it, right? And the one beautiful thing about black women is they are just as beautiful on camera, as they are in real life. Or should I say it that way? They're just as beautiful in real life as what I see on the camera, right? The black woman. And as a black man, like I said, I enjoy looking at women. I don't want to look at a bunch of dudes. The only time I want to see some dude on the internet is if he's having an intellectual conversation with somebody, if he's teaching me something, or if he got a sword or gun or freaking magic, a wizard stick, and he's doing like this and blowing something up or something like that. That's when I want to see action. All right, I want to see that.
Okay, what's going on? What's going on, Dr. T-Son? It's great to see you. It is so good to see you in the building. It says loving and pandering are not the same thing. I completely and totally agree. It's funny because I see somebody on the comment section. Y'all, that's gonna be a whole nother video. I sat down and watched Pop the Balloon over the weekend. Total side note, I was so upset. I don't really watch Pop the Balloon like that, and actually sitting down and watching it over the weekend, I see why. That was so upsetting. Like just the one episode I saw, there were 100%, I think with the exception of like one or two of the men there, were, you know, handsome, fit, educated black men who had probably well over six figures. Like these were top tier men. And all of those men got turned away for just literally BS reasons. Right. One was like, oh, he's too short. I think one of the dude was like 5'9", the girl was 5'7", said he was too short. I'm like, what? Huh?
And what this big goofy self don't understand, they'll turn on him too. Their standards are so high, it's unrealistic. And they love shaming quality black men, but they'll be the main ones that'll try to shame a black man from going abroad and getting a woman from a foreign country that will love him and respect him. If you got six figures, you're at least 5'9", you're a king in other countries. You're superior in other countries. Hell, you're superior here. But these women, their expectations are so high, many times they don't offer anything but trauma, ran through, a bunch of deletions, overweight, and you know, but they get mad at me for calling out the bad behavior that everybody else can see.
Other stuff was like, oh, I don't like the way his sleeve looks. Like, what? You don't like the way his sleeve looks? Like just random stuff. Like, oh, just I don't know, there's something about him. Like just the most insane, some of the most insanely idiotic reasons I saw these men being turned away for a first date. We're not even talking about marriage, people. We're not even talking about, it's not like you're going to have to marry this person and say I do. It's like y'all can go and have some coffee. But these dudes didn't even call it these, mind you, handsome. All these men, they were very handsome, right? They were fit, they were lean, right? They had good jobs, they were making good money. All these men, they couldn't even freaking get a coffee date because, oh, they didn't like the jeans. I'm like, if y'all don't get off the show, I was upset. I was like, I literally cannot watch the show too often because it makes me so upset to see, literally so upset to see the amount of.
And it makes me upset too. If you're a competent heterosexual man, it makes you upset because nothing is ever enough. And that's why you should never try to seek the validation from a woman. If a woman cannot respect you and she's not at least an average woman respecting an average man, don't even worry about it. Just keep your head down, keep grinding, and get your money up so you can travel.
Of like legitimate connections that can be made that are just completely shut down over like stupid stuff. Like real stupid stuff. And that goes back to what I said before. In my opinion, black American women specifically, right? Let me talk about black American women. They're their own group. Specifically are single by choice. We cannot blame black men for the marriage rates by and large. Yes, I'm saying that yes, we understand relationships. There's two parts of that, right? But first of all, black men are more married more than black women. Like we just have to own that. We just have to just let that settle in. Secondly, black women are single by choice. Black American women are specifically single by choice. It is not a value. There is no ring by spring. We don't grow up hearing ring by spring. That's something white women hear. That's something white conservative women specifically hear in like different church circles or if they're Mormon or whatever. They're the ones who are being told ring by spring. They're the ones who are being told go to college and get you a husband. Then black women are told that they need to have fun. They need to get to know themselves. They need to get their money and their job and their career. And so a lot of these ladies, they go.
Right. Have fun means get ran through. Hot girl summer, ran through, get their career, and put everything else, put family and tradition on the back burner until all their virtue is gone. One thing I'll say about Shay, from what I know, I think Shay was a virgin when she got married. I think she did say that. She was raised in the church, and shout out to her. She's a real one. She's what Marvin Gaye called a sanctified woman, and they hard to find. Even though Marvin Gaye was talking about sanctified women we're actually twofold. For intimacy and also to have his kids. But she was a virgin, and that's rare. That's extremely rare in this day and age. But you got chicks that don't protect their virtue, which is their body, give it away for free, and damn, they want you to pay all the bills and pay all the bills and all this goofy ish, but your virtue is gone, fool. That's why I don't take them serious. If I was ever single again, I'm not dealing with no damn American woman, not for my wife, unless she's an exceptional woman. She got to be exceptional.
On these dating shows, you know that they're not interested in a relationship. You know that they just want attention. You know they just want validation. You know they just want their 15 minutes of fame. That's all they want. It's so obvious. But these same women will say that they eventually want to get married, but they don't want to get married any sooner than like 35. They don't want to start thinking about marriage until maybe they're 35, right? So I'm like, yeah, black women are single by choice. We are like, and there needs to be like a collective reckoning with the fact that many have chosen their side. That's it. Single by choice. Don't have the mindset to get married. Don't have the desire to even know what that is. They would like a wedding now. Wedding day wouldn't mind. I don't know what women out there who would mind a wedding day. Wedding all day, every day. Engagement all day, every day. Pictures of the engagement process, you know what I mean? Little photos of how you propose, put them on IG, put them on TikTok, hashtag viral weddings, like all day, every day. They want that. But as far as the marriage, And as far as the building associated with a marriage and family, no, that's not, it's just not about you. So like, can we just sit here and just be honest? Have like a moment of truth. That is obviously not a value in Black American culture. It's not. That's not to say that Black women don't have the capacity to be wives. That's not to say that Black families can't thrive. Like obviously, I mean, many of us have examples in our own family and maybe great grandparents or whatever who were married and have families. Like we know it happens. But I'm just saying today, that is obviously not an ethos. Thanks feminism. Feminism had a lot to do with that. Had a lot to do with that. And like shows like Pop the Balloon, to me, they put all that in Front Street. All that in Front Street. I know I just went on a big tangent, but that show really just made me mad. Because I seen somebody talking about, oh, you had a professor come up in there. He'll walk in and just boom, 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 boom. Anytime a man is articulate, you can't really be an articulate Black man. The men who got the most interest in there were the ones who had tattoos. They all had tattoos. All over the,
They don't want the articulate ones until they ran through. They're damn near close to 40 with their eggs about oxidized, and they trying to get a man, a safe guy. They want a safe guy when their best years are gone. Many of them, not all, but many of them want a safe guy. And you don't want a woman that had her fun, guys, and she's selling for you. That's a damn insult. It's emasculating for a woman to say, I had my fun, now I want to sell for you. But what your granddaddy got and your grandmama, or your father got and your great-grandfather got was a virgin that was a wife and they have no damn kids. But now all of a sudden these random chicks, they have messed the market up because of the sexual revolution. But all of a sudden now, you're supposed to sell it for them and treat them special and pay all the bills and it's so damn, it burns me up. And that's why all this Black love crap don't make any sense until you ask Black men what they want.
But the ones who, like, you could tell were very educated, spoke more proper English, if you will, had tech jobs, were well dressed or whatever, they just didn't hit it. And nobody could give a substantial reason. It was just like, oh well, it's just like because the way you walked out, it looked like you were walking a little too slow. Like I like a man who walks fast. Like just stupid stuff. You know what I mean? I'm just making that whatever.
Yeah, but sure, I got a show coming up for you on that, dear. I got a show coming up. But sure, I got a show already planned for that. It's already planned. It's already in the ethers. I'm in the queue. I just got to bring it up. So you said, what are your thoughts on how Black women calling Felicia Rashad a pygmy because she calls them out on their attire or lack of? Well, it just proved the point. You can't teach them anything. It goes back to what Sherazade Ali said. You can't hold them accountable. See, older women like Felicia Rashad, they knew a time when women were more elegant and they had a modicum of decorum and grace. They know how to comport themselves. And so I'm not shocked by it because you can't hold them accountable. But like I said, these are the same ones when they're old and ran through, but talk about what they want, what they deserve, and Black love, and we love you kings, all this old goofy ish. Talking about we love you kings and all this, and femininity-ish after they ran through and all their virtues gone. So we know what kind of women they are, and I'm not surprised by it. I'm going to do a show on it tomorrow. But Marvin Gaye said he want to sanctify the lady. And you can't even find them in the church. Even in the church, they're not sanctified anymore. They be getting it in too. They get it in just like the world of women do. A wholesome, godly man looking for a godly wife, it's damn near hard to find.
This dumb stuff that has nothing to do with actually finding somebody who could be a husband or a wife. None of it. Okay, so it says, I swear these women are practically leaving Black men away too. Other groups only complain later. The lies of these women, literally, listen, okay, another tangent, because y'all got me on tangents right now, right? I don't say tangents, but to add anecdotally to what you're saying. So I'm married to a Black man, obviously, right? That goes without saying. But he has many friends who are successful, attractive Black men who are single. And when I tell you how the amount of women they have to, and especially the amount of non-Black women, let's just say that too, the amount of non-Black women that they have access to, it's no joke. It is no joke. And, I've sat here and I've watched and I said, with the way that these men are moving, many of these men, trying to establish whether it be their own businesses or trying to establish things in the community, like having a vision to build, finding a very hard time, finding Black women who are interested in building with them or who honestly don't want to take advantage on some level. And when I say take advantage, what I'm saying is some ladies will say, oh, they really want to be a part of your vision, but honestly, they just really want to have sex with you and they really want you to give them time and attention. Like they want you to treat them like basically wifey before you guys are even at that level. So,
all right. Well, Shay is correct. And guys, this is what I talked about. They want you to be a rat. They want Black men to be rats. They want you to be a rat. They want you guys to be rats. Let me see if I can find that. They want a rat. They want a fat Black rat to pay their bills. Make them feel like they special. Take care of their children, work like a slave and die early, only for them to get everything they work hard for. And they want Black men to be rats. That's what they want in a nutshell. They want them to be rats, man. Hold tight.
So like I've had a chance to see firsthand how these men have to navigate as they're trying to push towards their vision, as they're trying to build and do things that they are really passionate about and have the capacity to do. And you know, I sit here and I'm thinking, I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I could see easily how all these black men could end up with a white girl. It just so happens these men that I know, many of them are committed to being with a black woman, and so they oftentimes will turn down, or they may not engage.
And that's why I told you guys that you find a woman that celebrates you most. Don't get with a woman that tolerates you. If that white woman love you and honor you and know her role and respect you, you get with that white woman. I don't believe in that goofy ish like Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson don't speak for the black folks. He's this one man that happens to be a hypocrite that don't even take care of his own kids. You know, they haven't even damn built the school. So the dude's cool. I mean, I like Umar in part, but he's a hypocrite. So I can't take that dude serious, and neither should you. You're not gonna damn tell me who I'm gonna marry. You don't damn speak for me. You're not, you know, this so-called Pan Prince of Africanism. You don't speak for me.
And white women in that sense, but it's not for lack of opportunity. And if one of those brothers out there, if one of them said, you know what, I'm just going to be open to the woman who gives me the most support. And you had Becky with the good hair showing up there and supporting his vision as he's building the black community, supporting his vision as he's, you know, tutoring young kids or doing whatever. It's like, I can't even be mad at that. I really can't. Like, I really, really can't be mad, because I've had the chance to see with my own eyes the kind of women who are willing to go alongside a man as he's building towards something. And going back to another ethos that a lot of ladies are told in the black community, I don't even know where they get this stuff from, but it's like they don't want to build a man. They don't want to walk alongside. Like, they don't want to be a helpmate. They want to come. A lot of ladies want to come at the end game. They don't want to sit there and have to go through the ups and downs associated with a person pursuing whether it's pursuing their career or just going through the process that black men go through when they are elevating in whatever capacity. Like, a lot don't necessarily want to have.
The first thing I wanted
to keep it to 100.
Talk about, right?
100. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit.
Was what I got tired of hearing.
And I gotta go in a few.
I got tired of hearing certain things. I got tired of hearing, you know, there's some decent ones out there. I got tired of hearing that. I got sick of it. When I first stepped on the scene, I got a lot of pushback. All the day ones who were around, you saw it. This is the lockout station. That was my point, and it still is. After all these years later, that's my point. You've done enough. That was my point. My point was, and still is, you've done enough. They don't want to be under your leadership. They don't want to listen to you. They don't want to respect you. They don't even want to smile for you. Enough is enough.
Right.
Lockout.
Right.
It's lockout season. I'm telling brothers, all teachers, stay away from them. All, not some. I'm not here to debate. I don't care about people looking at my argument and wanting to pick it apart. I could care less. I don't care about these people. I don't care. Anybody who's listening to me, right, understand what I mean and know what I say and know why I'm saying it. I don't care about nobody else looking at my argument and saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, you feel that way? Kick rocks. I don't care. Only thing I care about is black men staying away. That's it. That's my ultimate goal, is to get black men to stay away. That's all I care about. I only care about black men. That's all I care about. That's my track record. I don't care about nobody else. I don't care about Brad. I don't care about Hector. I don't care about Lee. I don't care about Becky. I don't care about Maria. I don't care about Raj. I don't care about Marrakesh. I only care about black men. I'm a black man. I've seen what black men have been going through. I spent years on this channel giving history lessons on what they've been doing. It's time to lock out.
Okay, so you know, that was just a short snippet from some of his content, accountable commentary. I see some of you guys in here. Some of you guys look like you listen to accountable commentary. Some of you guys look like you used to listen to accountable commentary, you no longer do, or just think that he's a little bit too extreme. But nevertheless, I wanted to share again two opposite sides of the spectrum, right? You have the accountable commentaries of the world who want nothing to do with black women and are encouraging black men to completely go the other way.
And accountable commentary, I agree with a lot of the things he says. Some I don't agree 100%, but I do see his points and I do understand his passion. Now, some would say that the accountable commentary is on the extreme side of the red pill. They would call him probably radical, but I understand what he's saying. His logic is based on what he's looking at things based on sample size and population, and based on that, he's basically saying it's better that black men defect. But you make your own choice. But I understand where the brother's coming from. I get it. I get where he's coming from.
Okay. Then you have the other side of the spectrum, people like Afro Think Tank, who are going to ride with black women until the end and has nothing, for the most part, nothing but positive things to say to black women. And so again, I wanted to share those opposite sides of the spectrum because that really represents what is going on today. Like, and then obviously there are men who find themselves in between, right? Many of you guys that I've had the opportunity to interact with, many of you may have the perspective of you may desire and you wish to be with a Black woman, but there's concern as to whether or not you can find someone out there who you can really work with, who would either value you, who would be willing to work with you, be a helpmeet, who would be willing to follow your vision, you know. And so there's that, right? Those are some genuine concerns. Now, for those of you guys who are just hopping on right now, let me give you also a quick recap of how I started out this live. I started out this live showing basically 8 minutes of Black women who were affirming Black men. Right. And this is kind of strange, honestly, given the last however many decades of content and just media messages out there where we basically see Black women openly going on media, going on different platforms, talking about how deficient Black men are and how deficient Black men have been. So I think a lot of Black men are used to that thing. They're used to that interaction. Honestly, this is the kind of stuff that
as a man, if you don't have house car job,
this is what Black men are used to seeing. This is what Black men are used to seeing.
As a man, if you don't have house car job, don't look for a woman with house car job. And for the men that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three and they don't have all three. We can do that. We are women. You want us.
No, we
don't.
You
need us.
No, we don't.
Y'all want one thing from us. And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector, right? You're a security guard and you're a goddamn assistant.
Y'all hear this big block, this goofy big block, this tyrannical big block that's probably ran through with baby hair and somebody's wig on their head. I got a hair helmet on her head. she think this woman got an Antichrist spirit because she said we're security, we're supposed to do this and that. But yet this fool don't understand that the woman was made for man. And that if anything that a man gives a woman, she doesn't earn it. She got to earn it. It's not given just because you got to use dirty vagina that you gave to multiple men. But this fool, she doesn't get it, like so many others.
Know your place. Stop being contradicting.
So know your place.
And bow down.
She said bow down. This helps us to bow down, guys.
Right. So when some of y'all think of Black women, that's what you think about. That is honestly what comes to mind. Now, obviously, she is not. There's a lot going on there. That's what some of you guys are used to. What you're not expecting is this.
I love you, Black man. I just need you to know. You may be misunderstood, but your brilliance, it shows. Why do you think so many are threatened by you? They can see that bright aura, that powerful hue. I love you, Black man. You may be flawed just like me, but no matter what this world says, you're a king originally. You lead with strength and authority, commanding attention and adoration naturally. See, I love me some Black men. The way your brown skin blends in with mine. You make me forget about all my problems and remind me to be present for this moment in time. You are sublime. And you deserve your flowers too. So if no one else says it, I'm saying I love you. Thank you for being the rock that we need. Protecting and providing ain't as easy as y'all make it seem. You got a globe on your shoulder, but no one sees the weight you carry. This is a safe space to set it down. I know you're worn and weary. I see you, Black man. But regardless of my truth, I pray that you see your value. I pray that you love you. Because you deserve to be loved on. You're needed, Black man. I'm just reminding you of your worth. Sign, a Black man stand.
So some of y'all, you're not expecting that. You're not expecting that. Shout out to Comedy says this is better marketing from Black women. I mean, honestly, the marketing over the last few decades has been horrible. Horrible. Honestly, I think Black women, by and large, could take notes from Asian women. I think they can take notes.
I think they
can. Obviously, there's challenges. Every culture has their own challenges. And obviously know that Asian women, they can be deep into the swirling thing just as much as Black women. But they have, their branding is amazing. They have the reputation of being really submissive, even when they're not. Because Asian women that I know will tell you, like, there is this thing with Asian moms. There is this thing about, like, Asian moms. I don't know what it is, but, like, they don't take no. It's just a thing. It's a thing. This whole, like, oh, they're just submissive all the time, and they just don't have nothing to say. And it's like, that's branding. Because if you talk to actual Asian women, they will tell you. Yeah, they will straight tell you. But what I'm saying is, nevertheless, there's a reality of what can happen, but then there's the marketing. Asian women, by and large, have the reputation of being some of the most cooperative, easy to get along with, submissive women, even when they're not. Even when they're really not. Even when they're running the household. Like, because listen, let me tell you, I have Asian friends who have told me specifically that was their dynamic growing up. And they have their challenges with their own mom. So that's what I'm saying. Like, every culture has their challenges, every culture has their isms. But I'm saying, like, people with Asian women, they are seen by and large as women as being, like, really, nice to be around, easy to get along with, like, very cooperative. Their branding is amazing. Even though they're trying to swirl just as much. And even though they are not always as submissive and as cooperative as folks think, but their branding is on point. Black women, the branding is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's horrible. It's been horrible for decades. And honestly, that's my choice. That also was my choice.
But yet they'll get mad at me. They'll get mad at her and call her a pygmy and a mammy because we call out the bad behavior to the whole world see. The whole world see it, but somehow we're defective. Or I need to do commentary or do shows talking about positive and all the good Black women. Where are they? You rarely see them. We know that they probably exist, but by and large, they don't exist. They're hard to find.
Black women, by and large, are single by choice. I've argued that before, that Black women want to be single. That's why many are. Now, in the recession, or the coming recession, okay, some may find that that's just not necessarily as much of a possibility. When I talked to Mr. Z briefly last week, he mentioned the Golden Girls era. He's like, we're kind of getting to the Golden Girls era where folks might start to find out that they don't necessarily have a choice but to learn how to get along with somebody. Singleness is make it to the point where it's actually a luxury that only the elite can enjoy. A luxury. But it make it to the point to where some of these folks can't even, some of these ladies in particular, because by and large, what your average Black woman in America, apart from all the stuff you see on social media, your average Black woman right now is making what? Just around $45,000. Just making around $45,000 annually. Compare that with the level of inflation and the cost of eggs or whatever. It was like, some of y'all may not even have the luxury of being able to be all by yourself, be strong, independent, by yourself, boss babe. Some of y'all literally won't be able to afford that. And so you're going to have to look at other options. Those options may be van life. Some ladies are doing the van life. I talked about it exclusively last week. Some of y'all going to do the van life and basically be homeless by choice, literally. Some of y'all going to do the Golden Girls thing and have five of y'all in maybe a 1-2 bedroom apartment or 3, however much you work it out. Maybe share a house for those who are maybe on the higher income. Some of y'all may actually realize that you actually do need a man. You do need a man, and you can't do it by yourself, right? So we talked about this last week. So that's really what I wanted to cover off some of these different things, because I think with all that is going on in the economy and with all that is changing in the culture, and particularly in America, the nation, and then how this is actually starting to have ramifications worldwide, it really begs the question of, what are we going to see? What can we see? Are we in the era of the recession reach back? Are we just seeing ladies who are already deep into the reach back? I do think there's some of that happening. I do think there's some ladies who are moonwalking backwards. But my question was, what would it actually take? Because I know there's men right now who are listening to me. Even if you're skeptical, you at the end of the day still would love to be with a black woman who you knew was genuine. That would be your first choice. That would be your first choice if you could have it. If you right, you would love that. But I'm wondering, what would it take? What would it take for a black man who finds himself in that position to know that a woman who is showing interest is actually genuine and not just wanting something from him, whether it be his money? Because a lot of ladies want the money. You know, like what would it take? And I can't necessarily say I have a total answer to that per se, but it's certainly an interesting question. So you guys, while you're thinking about that, be sure to like, share, subscribe. I have almost 400 people here, guys, so be sure to show some love on the Cash App or Venmo. It looks like I see some of you guys over here who are trying to call in. Help me reach my goal. If you help me reach my goal, then I'll be happy to have you guys call in. I'm gonna go on a short break.
Oh gosh.
So while you guys are helping me reach my goal, I can stand in a few. Might be the filters. Y'all know what filters these days are. But no, okay, let me play this real quick, because this, right, what she said right here, and then look in the comment section, goes back to me being like, wow, like even with all the complications going on right now, like the standards are super low. Like by and large, I don't feel that men are asking for a ton. Like there's a lot of dudes out here who would really be willing to work with very little. Truly. And listen, I understand. I'm not sitting here saying that, like, we know that there are black men out there who have problems. We know that there are black men out there that have issues. Black men, let's sit around and talk about how black men are gay or snow bunnied, or they are emotionally broken, or they're narcissists, or they're DL, or they're like, so ladies love to sit around and talk about all the deficiencies of black men. But I'm like, can we just be honest? Like, we know that there are black men that have issues, but that's not every black man. And anybody that's in a relationship understands that people can grow and evolve. Right. But you don't need to be a rocket scientist. If for the majority of human history, people got together on their level, that could still happen today. But the reason that's not happening is partially because what I believe these crazy standards, broken down toxic culture. But this lady, she wants to sit here and explain to you really how easy it is to just even get an interest. We're talking just like step one. Come here.
You want to know what I said? I just ask. I ask you real questions like, who's taking care of you? And then y'all start fumbling through your shit like, what? Fumbling in your phone and shit, reaching in your pockets and shit. No. Who be taking care of you? Why you asking me that? Because a man like you deserve to be taken care of. Unless I don't see what I think I'm looking at. Unless my eyes deceive me. Because I be watching you and I see how hard you work. And hard-working man deserves to be taken care of. Who's taking care of you? What you eat, guys? Who fed you? Did you like it? You like that? That's the kind of stuff I say. That's the kind of stuff I say. I don't know what y'all be saying, but that's the kind of stuff that I say.
Okay. So affirmations for black men. FYI. This is where I've seen some of this content. Now, I don't know how long it's been up, but there's some interesting stuff in here. But this is where you're gonna see a lot of black men talk about how much they love their black men. Listen to this. Okay, this one right here. She was a single mother. She was a single mother that talks about how grateful that she is for her now husband, who ended up being a stepdad, for basically changing her life.
I just want to give you your flowers. Like, you are an awesome man. You're amazing, and we are very blessed to have you. Like I said in the last episode, when I was like, oh, I thought you was too good. It's like, it wasn't that you were too good. You just was on your path to becoming who you are today. And it was like me, I wasn't on the path yet. I was just stagnant. So when you came into my life, and it's kind of like you brought me with you. You made me realize who I am.
Wait, listen. She said I wasn't on the path yet. I just was there. You said the sound is low. I don't know how to bring that sound up. Yeah, I think it's that video. But basically, okay, I'm gonna do a whole separate on this, because she basically sits here and she's praising her husband, and she admits that she was just like, listen, when I met you were on a program, you were doing things, and I didn't really have nowhere to go. I wasn't really about nothing, but you came alongside and you saved me, and so I'm grateful. So that's a whole different. I might just do a whole video on that. I know some of you guys are saying the sound is low. That I think has to do with audio. That has to do, I think, with their audio. But my point is, okay, so let me go back to what some of y'all was saying about the first lady. I know some of y'all are saying that it seemed a little creepy. Some of y'all are saying, I don't know, that seemed just like it's giving gold digger vibes. Let me actually go back to the comments, because when I saw, let me see. I don't think I can do that. I'm gonna do that. Anyways, the comment section, the video that I showed you with the lady who was talking about how all she has to say to a man is who's taking care of you. There are all kind of dudes in there who are just drooling. Now, obviously, we know, I said social media is its own world. We don't know how many comments were deleted or whatever. But for the most part, there are guys in there who are just like, yeah, that's all we want. We actually want a woman who wants to take care of, not take care of us like a child, but who's a help me, who's a feminine help me. Right. Basic stuff. We're not asking for anything crazy.
Basic stuff.
You said I heard that. Accustomed to. Like I said, some of y'all are so used to this.
Say, man, if you don't have house core job, don't look for a woman with house core job. And for the men that complain about women that do that, look for a man that has all three, and they don't have all three. We can do that. We are women. You want us. You need us. Y'all want one thing from us.
This woman is so delusional.
And mad because we boss y'all around because you're a fucking servant. You're a provider, right? You're a protector.
This delusional slore is so pathetic. This delusional slore with somebody hair on their head and baby hair and butterfly eyelashes is so pathetic. Black men don't need black women for survival, you idiot. We don't need you for survival. We can survive without you. The internet has made it thus. You can buy cat if you want to. We don't need you. We can get meal preps. We can get people to make our meals now. We don't need you. We just tolerate you.
Protector, right? You're a security guard and you're a goddamn know your place. Stop being contradicting. And bow down. Because I'm sick of it.
Right. So for some of y'all, that's literally what you're like, that's what you're used to. That's what you're used to. So anything that doesn't come like that, now you're like, is this even real? Like, can I even trust this? Because I hadn't heard this basically for how many decades now? So when this comes along, you're like, huh? Black men, I love how you provide and are a pillar for your family. Right? So when you hear that kind of stuff, you're like, wait, I love you, like, what? Huh? What are you talking about? So let me see right here. It says, requiring loyalty from a black woman today is actually, nah. I hear what you're saying. But I'm like, obviously nobody should be, as a man, nobody should be dealing with a woman who's not willing to be loyal. Like, that's just, at that point, that's no different than being a prostitute. That's just no different than me being a prostitute. This one says the great separation. Yes. Let me also say this too. To a certain extent, we do know water seeks its own level, like attracts like. So, the woman who goes up there and talks about how toxic men are and how she's only attracts thugs and she only attracts dudes who just want to run through her, want to be her. Obviously, my first thought was going to be, okay, so who's the common denominator and all that, right? Like, what energy are you putting off to where that is all you find? Who are you around? Who are you around? Where's that old saying, of birds of a feather flock together? Like, there's an element of truth to that. Your surroundings and who you surround yourself with is going to play a role. So if you're a person and all you surround yourself is with broken relationships around broken people who have broken toxic habits and have horrible success, then don't be surprised when your life is reminiscent of that. But on the other side, if you're around people who have healthy relationships, who have healthy marriages, who are in that space, and that's possible, then you may not be so quick.
TaxAct doesn't expect you to have all the answers. That's why we've got experts on hand who do. Well, the answer
to just completely write up the whole thing. You might actually not find yourself in spaces with like-minded people, and you might actually find it easier than for you to then connect with somebody on that level. Like I said, for me, when I really got serious and I was like, I want to be married. I want to be sitting up here doing girls' nights. I want to be sitting up here doing these girls' single prayer breakfasts all the time. Like, when I got tired of that, I was like, I need to be around married people. Because me sitting up here with other single women who also want to get married, but nobody has any success, that's not helping me. So I had to be around married people. And I had to study and take notes. And I had people talk to me. And I had people give me insight. And I had people also give me some constructive criticism. Right? And so that is what actually helped me get to the point to where when I met my husband, we were able to vibe on that level because I was ready to receive him. If I had met my husband maybe even a year or two prior, it's possible I would have just not been open. It's possible we would have never connected. It's possible I would have given off particular energy. Like, all of that stuff matters. And so when you're saying the right separation, I think that's so key because part of this I also think has to do with how people show up, what they're around, what they're willing to do to actually get what they desire. So shout out to you for that. This one is $4.99. Thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, Game Changer. It's so good to see you. It says they are burning your house and selling your water. This is what? I'm sure you have more to say on that. I don't fully get it, but I'm sure you have some more to say on that. This one says this generations of gynocracy and feminism programming. This won't be as simple as that. That right there. Oh, cool. That's you touch on something else, which is what I've been saying also for some time, which is that black women were not taught to be wives. They were not taught to be wives. Black women were not taught to be wives. They were not taught to be wives. They were not taught to be wives. By and large. That's not a big part.
They weren't taught to be wise, but they know how to be submissive to white men and submissive on their job. So that might be true, but it's still a cop-out. You just don't value black men. That's what it is. You haven't been taught to value black men, and you think that you're better than black men.
Part of our culture. Black American culture, I'll speak specifically, because I don't want to generalize. I know there's some black people who come from more traditional cultures or, where they have thousands of years of traditions with respect to marriage rights. So I'm not going to say everybody, but specifically black America. We've had feminism for the last how many decades. And even if we had our grandmothers or great aunts or things in our family who were married and got married young, many of those ladies encouraged us to not get married so young, to not settle down so young, to not get tied down because we had all the time in the world, right? So many black women heard that. I had that whole video I did a few months ago, that black millennial, right? Who she went a little viral, where she was talking about, she was like, yeah, like we were set up for the okie doke. Like many of us were told not to be married and not to worry about that. And you get a certain age and people think you're supposed to be married. But so like, well, y'all told us to do that. Y'all told us to get real quick. So that's what I'm saying.
What some of the brothers are saying and what they say
resonated. It was not uncommon to have.
All right.
Yeah,
so this is game changing.
Listen to some of the brothers they had their own relationship, and so she was pushing that way before I gotten to the point it is today. But I'm wondering, like, was she marrying a woman in her earlier years, or
I don't know if they're married, but I do know that she is with a woman now.
But what do y'all think about what Game Changer is saying and what some of the brothers are saying? Write your comments in the bottom, guys.
Yes, exactly. Which is again, it's almost getting to where it's like by the playbook to a certain extent. It's like, I mean, now anytime I see a particularly like a radical black feminist, I expect her to have a white husband. And then if she doesn't have a white husband or white boyfriend, I expect her to have a white girlfriend, right? Or, just be a lesbian. But it's like, it's almost like, it seems as if they will go through they'll express or look through any and all means with, we're trying to find relationships, trying to find love, except black men. Like they'll experiment with white women, they'll experiment with women of other races, they'll do with men of other races, but it's like they will do anything but with black men. Like I feel like that's something I've noticed.
Or a black woman. Or a black woman. Like for all the stuff that they talk, they're not actually with black women either.
Well, actually, because you're in the Bay, right? You're in the Bay Area like me. Snow Bunny crisis here is real. Like
Yeah,
I'm talking about Snow Bunny crisis with like black women. I do see a lot of black lesbians with Snow Bunnies, which to me was just like, this is like, have we really impacted the Snow Bunny crisis among black women? You know, that's a whole other thing. But I'm like, because I started noticing that, like, even I remember when I went to the Black Joy Parade. Now this year I didn't have a chance to go.
Wait,
but
you went to what?
The Black. It was in Oakland. It happens every I'm sorry, not the Black Joy. I'm sorry, I'm blank. But it happens every year in Oakland, like for Black History Month. It's like the last week. I think they used to call it the Black Expo.
At the lake?
Not the lake. It's in downtown.
Oh, I know about that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't
that.
have a chance to go this year, but I went last year, and I was like, when I saw lesbians, like when I saw black lesbians, like they were with non-black women, like overwhelmingly a lot of the time. And most of the swerving that I saw in that particular event was black women and white women. I was like, this. I wasn't really anticipating that. I didn't really know what to make of it, but I just was kind of like, huh, that's kind of strange. So, but I never really thought about it. But I'm like, okay, if you have diversity who get to the point where they recognize white men are just uninterested, they hate black men, but they still want love, and we're in a generation now where a lot of women are experimenting sexually. It's not surprising to me if they would start to, engage with women, white women. That wouldn't surprise me in the least.
Well, I mean, do you think it's hypocritical if they engage with white women and then get mad at black men? Because if they're radicalized, then if they're sisterhood, then they don't want black men to be white women. But it seems like they don't want to tolerate black women either. Just saying.
And that's really a whole other topic, I think, at this point. But what I do want to say, what's going on if I have, let's see. Wait, let me do this real quick. Okay, I think I got Jack Link. Okay, so I have you, and then let's see who else I have. I'm gonna add, okay, when you dropped out. Oh, 18th Layer, what's going on? 18th Layer, so good to see you.
Hello, how you doing today, Miss Faye?
I'm good. Thank you so much again for the support. What do you have on this whole topic? I don't know how much you had a chance to see, but we're talking about the reach back. We're talking about how you're able to tell whether or not a woman is really, really genuine. She's really genuinely concerned about you and interested in wanting to work with you and build something stable versus like she's just doing the reach back. Like, what do you look for?
Well, the things that I would look for, like you can usually pick up on it, based off of the whole mentality, the misandrist mentality, like the way that they talk about black men. You can pick up there. You can pick up on it pretty quickly. Even if they was able to hide it, you can only hide it for so long before it pops up on a man's radar, and for not long at all actually. And I think because I kind of more lean towards, and I love myself as a black man, and I love black people in general, and black women that rock with black men. But I kind of more lean towards the accountable commentary standpoint at this particular time, because the thing what's going on in the black community, we have this democratic hierarchy where things are not being addressed as far as the self-hate, the misandry. None of this is being addressed, not even by certain men. Where it's kind of like everyone is just ignoring it, and as the problems fester. And what's going on right now is that this is going to implode, because now we're getting down to the bottom that it's the women that really don't want to create black families within the black community. They don't want to have a family where the man is the head of the household, where things are operating, underneath the man. And if that means, having to have a household with a man, black men who they look down upon, who they feel that they're better than, if that means that they have to get, underneath them, then they rather just see the whole thing decimated, which is what we're seeing right now. And it's just like it's so bad with certain women that even I seen a video where it was saying that how older women that are not in a happy relationship or don't have a man, they get triggered when they see younger black couples together.
You saw a video on that?
Yes, I have to send it to you. I have to send it to you.
Yeah,
but we've been knowing this forever, because we've known women who, if they're in a relationship with a man, their mothers who don't have anybody, they'll try to sabotage those relationships.
Which is horrible.
So we've seen that. These are people don't want to call it out what it is. This is a segment of the women in our community, which is a lot, that are very selfish, very self-destructive, and want to destroy everything else within the path of actually black people advancing with families where the man is at the head of the house.
Can I say something?
Can I
say something?
Yes, you can.
Well, first of all, Shay, I'm glad. Thank you for letting me on here. I've been meaning to talk to you for a long time, but time and space didn't allow. But I think what we're seeing here, this is a very deep subject, and it ties into wealth and the perceptions. It ties into wealth and the social position of, I guess I'll say, our people right in the U.S.
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't understand the depth of psychological warfare or psyops and stuff like that. And I don't think a lot of people appreciate how much of the subconscious controls your everyday day-to-day activities. Like, for example, if you go to a casino, they don't have clocks in there for a reason. Like when you go to the grocery store, those items are placed in certain positions for a certain reason. Like they put the candy front for a reason so that your kid can grab it and you're forced to buy it because you don't want the kids to start crying and embarrass you. A lot of these things happen, like when you see fast food restaurants, KFC, McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever. We usually have the color red. They use that color because from a primitive point of view, of hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, that color goes straight to the back of your retina and makes you alert when you see that color red, which is why we use red for stop signs. Now, I think the issue, one last thing, like.
Okay, it sounds like your audio was going out. But as we're waiting for it to come back, it's always Jermaine's fault.
PhDs.
Are you there? Okay, yeah. Your audio was cutting out. Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, so when you're done, I'm gonna let it's always Jermaine's fault. He's been hanging out there.
Gotcha. So what a lot of people don't understand is there's a lot of psychological aspects to what's going on. But let me just make it short. Look, I think the issue was after 1964, it was a concerted effort to make sure that people didn't achieve a certain amount of wealth in the country. And so a lot of psychological warfare was waged. I think they targeted a lot of the women with the intersexual feminism nonsense. They targeted the men with kid culture and gangster nonsense. You saw this stuff in the 70s and the 80s. And this is why we're at where we're at today. And that's it.
All right. Thank you for sharing. It's always Jermaine's fault. But you, I mean, well, you know you'll have to get the book. Well, you don't have to get the t-shirt now too, because I'm gonna need you to change that. It's not your fault, Jermaine. It's not.
Oh man, listen,
it's not your fault. I promise.
Listen, I was the one that told women to not appreciate black men in the first place. You know, that was me. I produced the Ricky Lake shows and all that stuff like that. So it's always my fault. I started it, but I'm gonna help now. No, but I'm real. Like, I'm a spiritual man. Like, okay, I'm a man who believes in the Bible. So, one big thing for me specifically, if we're talking about women who have faith and believe in the Bible, if they follow that Bible about what a woman is and what particularly what the black woman is in the Bible, then we can talk about family, relationships, building the community.
Right.
Outside of them, because there's not a lot of people in general that's going to follow the Bible. Outside of them, and I mean this as dramatically as it sounds, you're going to have to wage war on the sisterhood.
No, literally.
Literally. Because whenever black women want something, whenever they really believe in something, they start a movement. Whether it be Black Lives Matter, divestors, swirlers, they write books, they create movies, the professor says something, they get married to a prince. They always show in action. They have a white man appreciation day on Clubhouse when they really mean it. It's not just a TikTok challenge. Let's tell black men we love them. No,
right. It's like action. That part.
Right. It's tangible. It's always tangible. When you really, and this is the thing about hatred. Hatred is stronger than love because it motivates them to do all of these things. So for them to really, I mean, they're going to have to wage war. They're going to have to hold clubhouses, Twitter spaces, and they're going to have to be like, divestors, we're inviting you up. We want to discuss how you feel about black men, and I need to hear them. Wage war on those women that hate black men and talk about, because it's not equal. They keep trying to make it equal. Like, we both on both sides, we said things. No, black.
And we know that many of them are not going to wage war. Many will not wage war. Love is action. So when black men are saying, when we see the action, then we'll believe it. Not until then. That's what black men are saying.
Black men never said nothing about erasing black girls, black babies. We never said that. We never said that it turns us on to see female cops beat and eliminate black women.
You saw that live. Yeah, I think I read off, man, a while back. Did you see that live where they had, you're talking about like the divesting, like demonology?
Yes. I saw that a long time ago. And I was there. I got onto Clubhouse and I saw couple years in a row, matter of fact, they had the White Man Appreciation Day. Right? I saw the videos of them telling white supremacists, you need to burn us. Right?
I saw those videos as well.
I'm not familiar with the White Man Appreciation Day. That I don't. Maybe I'm glad I didn't see it. I don't really.
Yeah, they say it was on Clubhouse. There was a woman there that was telling a white cop that she hopes that they kill. She hopes that they delete all of us. Yeah, she was saying that, and of course the woman that was calling. No, it was on Clubhouse. And it was the women.
You're not missing on anything. I do believe that there are people who are paid, because we see that's exactly what's happening now. You have some of these artists like Meg Thee Stallion, who pushes misandry big. She pushes it big. Who's another one? Glorilla, like what's her name? Duetchi or whatever, who talked about how she don't like no straight man. Like, you see how there are black female faces that get promoted and get money for promoting anti-black misandry and for promoting things that are degenerate to our culture. So I do think in the same way they pay people to, I don't know how or which way, but some of these people are definitely ops, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's K-double owning. But the reason why I asked if they show their face is because I think that this is part of a larger mating strategy. Now, hear me out. And this goes back to our super chat about burning the house down and giving them water.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you need to explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm explaining now. What they're doing is they are secretly creating an environment where black men are underappreciated, just to later come up and say, oh, I appreciate you, black men. But really, there's no, it's just like you're offering the absence of a negative. You're solving a problem that really didn't exist until you created that problem. It's a mating tactic. It's like calling a woman ugly, or that's like having my friend call a woman ugly and then I walk up and tell her how fine she is. Yeah. Like, it's a strategy, and it's what these women are doing. Listen, to say that, oh yes, I love, black men for reasons, that shouldn't be enough to get black men really just, this woman is great, she's perfect. It's like, no, she still has to go through rigorous screening process.
Yeah, and she should.
Exactly. But that's one way and one tactic that they use to get you off guard. If a woman says, something, I appreciate you, black man, and I would return with, well, I'd appreciate you if you lost 40 pounds. You can't just let your guard down. We need more than appreciation. But appreciation seems like a lot when you don't have it. That's why they created a hostile circumstance, and then they offer a non-hostile alternative to that.
Okay. No, I appreciate it. Okay. Well, I have a few more minutes. I'm trying to see if I have any. Real quick, I want to also acknowledge. I saw some more super chats come through. I want to make sure I acknowledge. Shout out to you. Says, I look for a woman that is honest, even if it's embarrassing or makes her look bad. Ability to apologize and accept accountability. A woman that is true to her word and values, even when inconvenient. I mean, I have nothing else to say there. I think that's a beautiful.
Shout out to the Wall Report for the 20. Shout out to the Wall Report, always showing love for the $20 Cash App. Shout out to the Wall Report. I appreciate it, sir. We're going to end the stream in a minute, but I want you guys to hear what some of the brothers are talking about. But shout out to the Wall Report. The Wall Report always showing love, man. I really appreciate your help and your support, the Wall Report. Thank you, sir. Shout out to the Wall Report for the $20 Cash App, and also Ray Johnson. Thank you.
It's the money.
trait, honesty and humility. And well, here's the thing too. Like I was thinking about this whole van life, homeless by choice thing. At the end of the day, we know a lot of that is kept. We know a lot of that is kept. And we know a lot of these ladies come on and they say that this is some self-love journey because they're wanting that social validation. But my hope is at the end of the day, there's going to be some ladies who finally acknowledge that they need some help and that there might be some who will be willing to embrace some humility. Now,
This is the mini homes on Tamron Hall. Tamron Hall had a show today. There's mini homes where the ceiling is so low you got to crawl through the house. That's where you live right now.
I'm not familiar with that at all. I'll have to look at it.
Hey, Miss, I just wanted to ask you a question really quickly because, of course, we've been watching your content for a very long time. And what do you think about? We can just fast forward before this economy crashed, even before COVID. You had a lot of different content creators who were black women that was manipulating other black women by fueling this hate train. And now, have you noticed that certain ones that was a major factor have disappeared as far as when the hate speech became more and more extreme?
So you're saying you feel like some of those female channels that were fueling off of hate have lost their steam? I want to make sure I understand.
Yeah, they've actually, once it became too extreme to the point it was getting severely extreme, you have certain channels, of course, like I don't want to say any names, but certain channels now they started gearing away from it.
I can answer why that is.
Yeah, and then real quick, I have two more on here. I want to get in, and I have about 10 more minutes. So if you guys have any final thoughts, feel free to wrap it up and add the two more. And
just to add on to what I was saying. When they wage wars, I need to see the numbers of women that are waging war against the divestors in the sisterhood. I need to see those numbers be more than the sisterhood. Then we can start to talk.
I understand. I understand. There needs to be some legitimate proof. So okay, so I'm gonna add.
No, I wanted to respond to what 18th letter said, or his question about where have they gone. Quite simply put, 18th letter, they got some penis. No, honestly, that's where they went. Like a lot of women are venting frustration about their current relationship situation. Once that's changed in their favor, they see no need to everything. Yeah, exactly.
Some of y'all said Cynthia. No, Cynthia's actually back. She's actually back. I've seen her. But okay. But anyways, I'm gonna add. Looks like I think I don't know how to say your name. I don't want to butcher it. So
Wakanda.
That'll work. Wakanda will work. But yeah, I listened to you for a while. For about 2 years in the back end, and I see the content that you do. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
But I see what you were saying about, I think that people need to go about this in a more respectful way. Like if it's something you don't like about a person, or you want to see change, it's a way to get that change. That's the only issue I have with like a lot of brothers. They be on here doing all that raspy talking on here. You know what I mean? But other than that, I get where they're coming from. So I can't sit there and pretend like, oh, everything is all good. When you see they on that spazzing out, like y'all was saying we bullet bags and everything. Like that's a death threat. I don't blame no man for not wanting to be with no woman like that.
Not just that, brother. That's hate speech. They call us apes and everything else. It's beyond just threats. It's literally neo-Nazi hate speech.
Yeah, and that's where there's always aspect of me that says some of the stuff I believe is I don't want to say fabricated. It's like the sentiments are already there, and then you may have plans or whatever who come in and then they aggravate. It's like adding fuel to the fire.
So what do you think about this too?
You don't see that stuff in real life. You you know what I mean? Like or y'all can wrong, but people come up to you and be like, "Hey, bullet bag," like that's not happening. So I'm like the age of anonymity to a certain extent has really created or has shown the worst aspects. You know what I mean? Or people's alternate toxic demonic ego, whatever you want to put it. But I'm like in real life, black men aren't coming up to y'all being like y'all bullet bags, but you're experiencing disrespect though.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think it's love if because white men don't want black women, right? There's a lot of literature to prove that. Yeah. Do you think it's love that black women went all out of their way to find white men, failed, and then turned around and said they love black men? Now, do you think that's love?
When you say, are you talking about respect, like?
Okay, so you got a lot of divestors, a lot of women that if you search their Twitter timeline, they were sweating white men. They really wanted white men.
Yeah.
Then they went out there and found out these white men don't want them back. Probably pumping dumped her. And she said, all right, they don't want me, so now I'm going to go back to wanting and loving quote-unquote black men. Do you consider that real love, or is that just like treating black men as a consolation prize?
No, I mean, we argue all the time. Nobody wants to be second place or backup plan, including men. I mean, well, correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't want to speak on behalf, but that doesn't sound genuine to me. That doesn't sound legitimate. And I wouldn't encourage anybody to end up in that kind of situation.
I don't mind being second place. I think that each and every single woman that I've been with would rather be with either Salvador or Michael B. Jordan. And I don't care.
Okay. That's not reality.
Yeah, well, I mean, neither is them getting with a white man, but there you go.
I don't look at it that way because it's your whole type. It's not just a better, a movie star. It's them genetically, culturally considering white men better than you, and then just falling down and saying, "Oh, well, I'll accept you now." To me, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, well, that's not a person worth engaging with at all. Now, real quick, I do want to be mindful of the time. I think Big Kev just joined. That's gonna be the last call that I take for today. I know we've been kind of talking all over, but Big Kev, if you wanted to hop in about the topic, we're obviously mentioning the reach back, and my initial question was, what would it take? What would a woman need to do to show that she's actually genuine? Or if anything else that they said resonates with you, you can hop in.
Well, I think in regards to like the genuineness, I think it's more so a matter of being true to one's intentions. Because to me, it's almost like this, right? It's not the women who basically lean into their hatred of so-called black men. It's not the women who actually genuinely do sincerely value and appreciate and want a healthy relationship with a so-called black man that's necessarily the problem. It's the people that try to pretend or flip-flop. There's a whole lot of flip-flowers and flip-floppers, and it's like, if you would just be honest with yourself, you would save yourself so much trouble, like
that's
stop lying to yourself. Number two, it's one of those things where, again, with this topic, it's like, all we need to do, and I do like to agree with Evan Anderson, about this, where he basically says, all you got to do to kill their whole argument is literally for more so-called black men, especially y'all, to just come out and say, you know what, you always talk about how white men marry, yeah, that's actually a great idea. You know what, go get a white man to marry you. Like, start a whole hashtag, like, get a white man to do it, Like, I think that's what a lot of these chicks don't want to happen, because the guys that start to say that, eventually, that's essentially so-called black men basically saying, you know what, put up or shut up. You're always talking trash about how you're such a great player. You know what, check ball. All right, cool. Show it on the court, And then another thing, too, it's like watching them scapegoat your average so-called black men for their failures. I'm sure you guys get this. You know, if you guys watch the NFL, it's like listening to like a lot of like Browns fans try to like go into these like convoluted rabbit holes about how, you know, the Odell Beckham Jr. trade was bad or how Baker Mayfield destroyed their team, and realize like no, they want the problem. You guys are just idiots. That's all. It's like you guys are just hopelessly dysfunctional and regressive, and that's why you keep losing. And you can kind of parallel that to a lot of this flagrant dysfunction and hate and stuff that you see being peddled by the so-called sisterhood. It's like, you know, eventually most of us are gonna have to accept the fact that, you know, so-called black men, for the most part, we're not responsible for a lot of so-called black women's failures and shortcomings as women. Like, we're just not. Because if we were, then we're not in the picture. Their lives would get better, like across the board. But most times it doesn't. So what do you have to say to that? You know, like, and it's like that consistently. Like they keep saying, "Oh, okay, you know, oh, it's Jamal's fault that, you know, that you're fat, or you have, or that, you know, you destroyed your scalp, or that, you know, other men don't want you." I'm like, all right, cool. Well, all we have to do, but it's an acid test. Let's take Jamal. Let's remove Jamal out of the picture. You know, I would even to the point where I would even recommend, you know, for these swindlers and investors that are single moms, I'm like, I would even recommend them giving up custody of the children to the dad just to go be with these other men. You know, just again, just put it to the acid test. Like, stop all this hypothetical options. Just like, no, like,
gotta prove it.
No,
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, just prove it. Just put up or shut up. That's it. Put up or shut up.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Put up or shut up. That's
Yeah.
it.
No, I understand. I mean, a lot of it is just talk, and it is a lot of noise. It is a ton of noise, and I really think at the end of the day, people who are serious and someone who would be serious is actually going to be willing to go through the actions to do so. I do think, I mean, while I would not have maybe used it in those exact terms, there is an element of truth to what you're saying, Game Changer, in that ultimately, once a woman is satisfied in her relationship, she has no need, and she has no, there's nothing she gains from, let's say, a Cynthia G, right, who was very open about her disdain for black men and the lack of what she says is black male leadership. A woman who is actually getting that really can't connect to that and has no reason to go online and complain. But if she's discontent and sad, upset, depressed that she doesn't have that, then she can fill that void by those toxic channels where black men get online all day and just complain about men that they supposedly don't want, but they're always talking about. So, yes, it's like some of it is just a
Cynthia is the best example for that, because she started off, you know, on the pro-black, you know, black love, et cetera. When she get the results that she wanted from that, it quickly turned into hate. So, right, but still a willingness to deal with the black man. But if she found like, yeah, Tariq Nasheed and all that, it would end tomorrow. Like, it would.
And I would also say too,
kind of like personal life who came out.
Yeah, exactly. No, I said to kind of summarize what I was saying another way is basically you have a lot of hyper-matriarchal Negroes that hate relationships, hate marriage, and hate family, but they just don't like when other people remind them that they hate relationships, marriage, and family, because they still want to be able to have plausible deniability and play the victim and be like, oh, you know, poor old me. You know, they don't like when other people point that out, because again, it's like, you know, if you openly admit that you hate so-called black men and black children and you hate families, I'm like, why are you? Nobody's gonna feel sorry for you if you don't have a family, or if the family you do have is falling to pieces. Like, nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. It's like, well, isn't this what you wanted? So
right. So, I'm gonna wrap this up. If you guys want to give any final thoughts, then I'm gonna read through some of the super chats because I want to acknowledge that. But any final thoughts or feedback you guys might have?
I just want to know what happened with Paris Milan. I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay, real quick about her. Yeah, I have to see if she's back, but I know she's had a channel that had some very negative things to say about black men. I actually reviewed one of her lives where she just was trashing. I don't remember. It was somebody who had gotten deleted. It was like a police deletion. She said some things that I took, you know, I had issue with, and so I responded. But she said some very cool things to say about black men, but we found out later on that she was actually married to a black man, and she eventually released that to her followers. And then last I heard, she actually privatized her channel completely, or deleted it. I don't know if it's deleted it or I don't know, which is already found.
You know what? If I may say something, Miss Shade, with that. Well, one of the things why she privatized her channel, because she went on a whole hate rant on biracials and was exposed with that. And then on top of that, even when she showed people she was married, it was because the subscriber was actually going to expose the fact that she was married. Women and she wanted to beat everybody to it before that subscriber actually was going to expose that she was married to a Nigerian black man at that. Women like Paris Milan, in my personal opinion, and Chrissy are like some of the worst of the worst, because they actually know better, but they manipulate and fuel hate to these women for money. And one of the reasons why a lot of those channels veered into another direction, especially Chrissy, she's not as extreme as she once was, is because after what happened with Cynthia G, a lot of them was afraid that they were going to get their channel shut down, and that was their bread and butter for, you know, those YouTube checks paying very well. So that was their bread and butter. So a lot of them started gearing out of that direction. And you notice a lot of them, of course, I know that you touched on this, but a lot of them was not even touching on a lot of these quote unquote divestitures that were in interracial relationships that end up getting deleted. They were very quiet when it came to that. And also to what one gentleman said in the chat, Paris Milan now has a business with all the YouTube money that she made feel hate speech. And I think she don't want that to get in the way of her business. So I think that's one of the main reasons why she privatized her channel as well.
Yeah, I do know she on that. You're right. I do know that her and I think it was Exotic Coast United got into it. They went back and forth. Actually, they're live and Exotic Coast United came on. And I thought it was hilarious because I was like, when you have somebody who's actually the product of quote unquote diversity or interracial relationships, they can tell you they're real. And so, yeah, I do remember the back and forth. I wasn't fully aware of the details. Just what we do know is that obviously she's made money saying some very disparaging things about black men. She is married to a black man. And the challenge about when you do cultivate an audience off of misandry or off of constantly tearing down your own group of people, when people find out, when followers find out that you actually are living a life that is distinctive from that, some of them can feel upset. Or they can feel like, that would be like on Cynthia G right now was like a housewife. You know what I mean? And like was like, you know, serving her husband every night. You know what I mean? Like that would be like, wait, what? Like that's completely different than what you're saying. So yeah, it is something else. But she might come back. I mean, no, Cynthia G is back. Paris Milan might come back. We will see people rebrand all the time. But ultimately, I think the bigger point is nobody should be making content off of disparaging anybody, particularly their own people. So,
I just hope Cynthia G marries Tariq Nasheed and they give birth to Uncle Ruckus. That's all I hope.
I do think Tariq Nasheed is already married, so that, you know, I don't think that's going.
If I may mistake, I'm gonna just say this, and then these are my final words, and then I'm gonna head out. I think, you know, there's no sense in even trying to compromise with this, with these type of women. I think the damage has been done. These women have shown that they have devoted their lives and a lot of their energy to try to destroy black men and destroy black men's image for whatever reason it may be. It may be due to self-hatred, it may be due to anger, bitterness, for whatever reason.
No, it's the reason is that they want to create a scarcity mindset amongst black men that they can exploit.
Right. Okay. Well,
I don't even know if they're thinking that far, but I'm sorry, Michelle, what you were going to say?
No, saying if you don't mind, if you let me finish, and then you can.
Sorry.
No problem, GC. Yeah. So at this particular point, I advise for black men to go deal with other. You can deal with other cultures of black women, whether it be Africans or people from the Caribbean, and if not, go get another group of women because this ain't it. I don't want to try to compromise with somebody that hates me. And at this point, that's what we're seeing. For whatever one reason or another, I advise black men not to deal with these types of people altogether. So
no one should ever do that. And I have to say the good news for women, black women particularly who are serious, is it doesn't take much to distinguish yourself from the sisterhood or from the garbage that's going on. It doesn't take much. Simple accountability.
Yeah, absolutely.
Humility.
I'll just add this real quick, Michelle. I just want to say for the women like yourself, or black women like yourself who support black men, watch y'all backs because these women, one thing we have to understand, we're dealing with women that have a mentality of when they don't get what they want or they feel like it's over for them, they want it to be over for other black women as well that may have an alignment with their men, who may want to have a family with their men. That's why these women are so aggressive in the way that they go against black women like that. Even in the message, you can just be giving your man his proper respect and giving your man compliments, and that just it's like somebody put a rat down their back. It just makes their skin crawl. So be careful with people be careful with those women because they don't want to see, if they don't feel like they're getting what they got, they don't want to see no black woman happy and they want to see black men destroyed. So.
Yeah, they need to be concerned about me. I have no fear of, respectfully, these bitter betties who don't know the left from the right. They need salvation, pure and simple. Like I said, they can't. Yeah, I'm not concerned about them, but I do understand what you're saying. It's like misery loves company, and people do the best they can to try to destroy, but they can't destroy what they can't control. You know what I mean? Like just my hope is that sometimes hitting rock bottom is the best thing a person can go to because they can recognize that what they're doing isn't working for them, and perhaps at that point there will be a willingness to change. So, anyways, I appreciate your support, 18th letter, and it's always good to have a conversation we're able to.
Oh, thank you, Miss Shay. Thank you for allowing me up on your platform. It's always good to converse with you, especially in regards to this topic. I want to give a shout out to GC. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Jermaine. It's always Jermaine's fault.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Jermaine. I promise it's not.
I don't believe it.
Okay, so I'm trying to think. Now, do you want to again, I don't want to butcher your name. I'm so sorry. But would you like to hop in?
Okay. My name is Yaakwaba.
Yaakwaba. It's an amazing name. I feel like I don't. Yaakwaba. Okay, that's great. I just want to.
But yeah, I want to, if your graces, can I at least give them some advice, the ones that went on that rampage?
Yeah, you can share. You can share what your thoughts.
Okay, my advice for them is that since all this was done online, I think that if you see any brother that's online that's doing something, if he got 1 million followers or he got 1,000 or he got 1, go and show them some love. Go over there and let your good outweigh your bad. Don't pretend like you didn't do nothing. Don't bring it up either, but just show yourself as a decent human being. And I'm pretty sure that when the rubber meet the road, if somebody found something on you, all you got to do is go back and look at your recent activity and say, you know what, she cool. And that's my advice for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's real simple stuff. Like, as I mentioned before, the good news, particularly for black women, is that it takes very little to actually separate yourself because the bar right now is hell. Like, to be like a genuine good woman is, I mean, it sounds like it's a diamond in the rough. They're like 1 in a million, but it's these men are not asking for the moon. Really not. So, thank you for
letting me come up. I'm going to go now, okay?
Okay, you take care.
This is a TikTok challenge. I guarantee you. It's TikTok.
Oh, wait. You talking about the black men affirmations?
Yeah, it's just a TikTok. I've seen people inhale cinnamon, so this is not anything too extreme.
Well, the thing is, on that, like I said, one of the content creators she did admit that she for 2 years did black male affirmations, and she explained, what encouraged her. And so I look at this stuff and I'm like, I believe there were some genuine women out there. I just understand right now there's a lot of noise. So I can also really, really, really understand why many of you guys would be like, this means nothing. A TikTok video means nothing. We need some real tangible, legitimate changes for me to actually be willing to engage. And that's valid. That's completely valid. That is completely valid.
I really wish we had the time because there was this guy that said, he was going through a video about Sperm. He was like, yo, black women do not hate racism. They hate the rejection from white people. And that's what I felt. That's what I felt like Black Lives Matter was really about, because you could have done so much about the drug dealers and the gangbangers. You didn't really care about Black lives. You didn't. But every time a white person killed a black person, it hurt your heart so much. You have to start a whole movement for it. You know what I'm saying? You have all these movements and these, these gatherings and all these sayings and all this stuff, and you hold all these chats. But when you want to affirm that you love black men, it's just a TikTok challenge. Like, no, I've seen you eat scalding hot chips on TikTok. It doesn't really do much for me. You know what I'm saying? So get out there and march in the streets. No offense.
I understand what you're saying. That's particularly why I believe so many get pulled the tangent. Why so many black women were deeply discouraged by the loss of Kamala Harris. Actually saw some openly admit that it felt like rejection to them. Because, like you said, because of the desire for white acceptance and validation. So I do believe that there is something to that for sure. That is a whole other topic. But yeah, I have to say I concur.
Like really, if any other group of people said the things black women said to another group of people, you'd be on the verge of war. Like, there would be no trust. If Jewish people said, abort Palestinian babies, what does that sound like to you? Bullet back. That's not normal. That's not normal. I don't want to date you stuff.
Yeah.
That's deletion.
Yeah.
No one says this stuff to anyone else except black women to black men. And we talk about white men like they're the worst thing on the planet. And I'm not going into that. But compared to what black women say to black men, white men are angels. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
A lot to unpack there. Like I said, it's a whole different topic. I will say briefly, and then the game changer, if you want to hop in or wrap things up. And this is what I mentioned a lot that I did with Dr. Umar, who some of his ideas or ideals I can support. But I said, at the core, it doesn't matter how perfect of a system something is or how in favor a system is for black people. If black men and women can't get along with their functional families, black people will destroy that. And I'm like, Wakanda, if we had access to Wakanda today, Black America at large would destroy it. You have women going on twerking. Okay, taking out some folks, taking the resources, stealing it, people getting in fights, trying to get like if Wakanda exists today, where there was the perfect system that benefited Black people as a whole. With the current mentality that is pervading, particularly in Black America, right, it would be destroyed. So that's why I'm like, while I'm all for creating better systems and advocating for that, you still have to fix step one, which is a broken family, which is men and women, why they are not coming together on like the most basic level, because communities are made up of families, families are made up of men and women who have kids. If that's not happening, then there's no community. You know what I mean? Like, so.
That's absolutely true.
Right. So, Game Changer, do you have any things you want to add before I wrap this up?
Yes, a couple of things. A couple of things, because things were said in the chat room that I definitely need to reply to, but it goes under a whole blanket thing. I think that there's a misunderstanding or disconnect going on that Black men need. Black men really need to understand that we are the sugar, honey, iced tea when it comes to men. And because of that, there's going to be a lot of problems that go along also with that. One is that there's going to be a fear from your own women that if you know or realize that you are the sugar, honey, iced tea, that they are going to want to find a way to humble you. That way they can still have you. And that is what we're dealing with. All of this Cynthia G, 1 year she's like, oh, king, you're my king. And then next thing you know, you're dusty beta male, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of this is designed to humble you. All of this, hey, look at me, I'm swirling, I'm leaving. You got to hurry up and get what you can because I'm leaving. But they never really leave. All of that is tactics to humble you. It's all a tactic to get discount D from you. And what I'm saying, Black man, is understand that is your value. All of this is just tactics for their inability to keep up and obtain and sustain a relationship with something of such great value. Now, what do I mean by value? I'm talking about like, dollar for dollar. I'm not saying, other groups may have a reputation for being, economically sound. Outside of that, dollar for dollar, they understand that we are the sugar, honey, iced tea. That's why they worry when Black men get too much money. That is why there is this divide. They're worried about the possibility and potential of an arrogant Black man. So everything that they do in their culture, even from mother to son, is to humble you, to take what they are willing to give you. Fellas, do not fall for the tactic. Let these chicks say whatever they want. At the end of the day, know what you are.
All right. No, I think there's a lot to that. That goes back to something I mentioned a while back about. I'm trying to think exactly what it was, but it was basically to the extent of fearing Black male leadership. This one we have to be a whole life, but there's a fear of Black male leadership, which is why I noticed this theme a lot of. When a Black man gets to a certain point of success, there can be this like knee-jerk reaction to like want to humble him or make sure he doesn't get too high-minded.
Yes.
I've seen that. These weird toxic dating shows that show the worst aspects of Black culture. You've seen this in conversations, even passively, with this idea of like, you want to make sure you don't get too high-minded. You got to remember where he comes from. You got to remember who he is. And at the core of that, I think is a fear of Black male leadership for multiple reasons. Right? There's really, really toxic ideas about Black masculinity and the assumption that if a Black man is to lead, he's going to do so with a whip and he's going to like enslave you right now into the color purple. So that is inherent in some of the beliefs of these ladies, which is why when a Black man is actually on his stuff, there can be sometimes this need to push him down. And my brain is like, the last thing you want to do is push these men down who would literally be largely responsible and necessary to create a better reality. You want to encourage that. You want to encourage confidence. You want to encourage, that kind of masculinity. You don't want to always try to stifle it. So definitely something.
The reason why they want to stifle it is because, and this isn't the Black man's belief, this is the Black woman's belief. They believe that other groups of women are better than them. Now they're not, at least not on a genetic level. But they feel that Black men do, and that if Black man values himself, then he's going to want a woman of equal value, reading a woman of higher value than her. Now that's their belief. That's not how Black men believe. But that is how they're believed. And unfortunately for the Black women, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's why you have Kanye West saying, then you get on and they'll leave you for a white girl. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he's getting at. They don't leave you for a white girl because they got on. They leave for a white girl because of all the stuff that you did to suppress his masculinity, as you was describing, to suppress his confidence. Because of that, he leaves, not because of you. Like you said earlier, if he had a choice to be with, and the ones that do, Denzel Washington do, Bill Cosby do, like the ones with choices to do that, they do that. But they don't get that choice because of fear that, if he knew that he had those options, he would not opt for the Black woman.
I definitely think there's some low self-esteem there for sure. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for calling in. This is, as always, an interesting conversation. I'm going to go and start reading through some of the super chats. I know some of you guys had interesting things. But thanks for calling in, Game Changer. And it's always, Jermaine, it's not your fault, I promise. I don't know what you're saying.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's all good. All right.
Thanks.
All good. Okay, so real quick, oops. Well, yeah, that's my t-shirt. You guys check out my store if you haven't already. On that, I'm going to do you guys can do this quick little promo, and I'm going to read through some of the super chats. You guys mentioned some really good things. I want to make sure I cover off. Expressions of Black femininity that have been shoved down our throat for the last few decades.
We're going to stop it here, guys, and then we're going to end the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in on today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Going to get ready for this game. Let me do some of these comments real quick, and then we're going to end it. Bashir said, actually, from my observation, hold tight. She said, actually, from my observation, I see people either Black women as the ones who are more up in arms about Kamala and losing in November. Hence those protests today. The 92% of Black women who voted for Kamala are the 92% Black women who voted for Kamala are arrested. Tim House, I know your work, Black men. So, guys, we're going to end it here. Thank you for everybody that donated, man. We're going to get ready for this game. Producer Gregory Scotland was the #1 sponsor of the stream. And thank you to The Wall Report and the the other brothers for showing some love a few minutes ago. We're going to end it here, guys. We're going to end it here. But it's, black brothers are getting tired of the crap, man. A lot of black men are waking up, but they're not telling the Lord to show them a sign. They're just going where they're tolerating and respecting as men, and you can't blame them. So once again, shout out to Shay Sade. Shout out to Shay Sade. Thank her for putting together that awesome show. And that show resonated, I'm sure, with a lot of black men. So, guys, thank you. By the way, some basketball, even though I'm not a Duke fan, Duke is from North Carolina. So we'll see what happens, man. But shout out to everyone that watched. Thank you to all the brothers that donated. Thank you, Tim Howard, for those memberships. Tim, thank you, Tim, for being so kind. Shout out to Gregory for the 10. Quiet Faith for the 20. Brother R. Dean for the 10. Gregor Scotland again for the 20. He's the #1 sponsor. Representative for the 10. Bashua for the 5. Gregor Scotland again for the 10. He's the #1 sponsor. Quiet Faith being a member. Thank you, Quiet Faith. Tim Howard for the 5. Bashua again for the 10. Thank you, dear. Hashim Shabazz for the 5. Facts Kosher. Thank you, Hashim Shabazz. Thank you, sir. And Bashua again. So we're going to end it here, guys. We're going to end it here. Muscle for Life said that only those open enough to step out of the matrix can survive. Men are awake, and Big Brother likely ain't leveling these odds in anyone's favor. Yeah, man, black men are waking up in part, man. Brothers are waking up, and I'm glad to see it. I want black men that have done the work to get the best. No more damn projects and bottom shelf women. Only the best. If she don't qualify, let her go. Don't argue with her, because you see some of them are highly delusional based on the men on the Power of the Balloon show. So we're going to end it here, guys. Thank you for tuning in once again. And we're going to end it here. And y'all be well.
I know I've been quiet for a minute. I've been grinding, still in it. I've been counting these digits. Excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. The crash came when the cash came. Spend it before you get it, like those rookies all on draft day. For the love like it's match game. Hit the ground running, really do it for my last name. They act different when the facts change. I'm not with the tip for tag games. In my own league, I don't chase game. In my own league, I don't hang with lame. I know I've been quiet for a minute. I've been grinding, still in it. I've been counting these digits. Excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Now how could that be? Talking about who can be talking about me. Feeling like Stretch where I got all this reach. Feeling too blessed when I step on these beats. Now how could that be? I could beat the pressure, I could beat the 2-3. Jab, jab, hook, then I duck and I weave. It was never you, it was me versus me. I know I've been quiet for a minute. I've been grinding, still in it. I've been counting these digits. Excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me. Better up, get some. Swinging for the fences, I might leave it in the sun. Every pitch a home run. Stack a couple tickets just to leave it to my son. Take it back where I begun. Small city kid, couldn't dream a bigger one. A marathon, never run. Check the scoreboard, how I'm feeling like I won. I know I've been quiet for a minute. I've been grinding, still in it. I've been counting these digits. Excuse me. I know I've been quiet for a minute, but I'm back on my business. If you see me, don't trip, just excuse me. Wrong if I do, wrong if I don't. That's why I do me no matter what, so excuse me. Lie if I do, lie if I don't. The proof is in the story, take a seat and excuse me.